fix up Multi-Man's
I don't see it live yet.
There we go.
Yep, it's live on my end. Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to stream Dissected Alive, or Roger's animating today for a change. So we're having a bit of a break. Luke is on vacation to Ireland. Elise is busy, and most of us are having busy weeks as well and are completely exhausted and broken and near self-destruction at this point, so we all need a break.
Yeah, it's not been a good week for most of us. Yeah.
And it's pretty hot, beginning of summer, so a perfect time for a nice little chill.
Before you continue talking, the chat can't hear Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
I can hear you, but you're just very, very quiet.
I'm very
Okay, I
quiet. I put it on louder. Am I here now? Can you hear me? Roger, Roger. Blah, blah, blah. I'm boring talking about
yeah,
Sonic. I hate
Yeah, they
Green
can
Hill
hear you
Zone.
now.
All right, there we go. Oh, I was just about
Yeah.
to complain about Green Hill Zone. Now you ruined it. Missing out on all this gold. Yeah, so we're having a chill stream. It's summer. Luke has gone to Ireland. We're all tired, so we're just chilling out for today.
And
Melty.
Elise got stuff to do, so I'm taking Elise's spot. Hello, I'm double silly. I'm not in the drawing, but
All right, yeah, I should put you in a drawing.
no
now.
worries, no worries.
I'm drawing now anyway.
I'm starting to wonder, is this like the third time that Elisa's not been present on the stream? Because I've kind of lost track at this point.
So what?
Yeah, she's she's a bit of a honorary guest spot anyway. I'm kind of surprised she's even showing up so often. But hey, we need more female representation, so fine with me. But yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Especially
a
in this PC climate.
bit.
Yeah.
But she's a busy lady. She has family life and school, so
As well as her book.
and writing her books. Yep.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That one book for that competition that she mentioned. Though not sure how that's going.
Well, I hope it's going well.
Indeed.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll bring Steph onto the live stream.
Why Steph?
I don't know, just something interesting, something new. Just
Right.
a suggestion.
She was on Dissected, I suppose, but I'm not sure if she has a lot to say about Sonic. She would probably prefer to talk about Banjo-Kazooie or something.
I'd be all for that. I love me some Banjo-Kazooie.
Do they have comics and cartoons we can talk about?
I guess I could plug a bit of work here with so yeah, me and Salah have been busy, or at least continuing on with working on our co-op episode of Archie Sonic Character Files covering Tikal and Chaos. And last night he sent me a second draft that I sent him, and then he sent me back with some notes. And I did look over it, and I can see right now just needs a little tweaking here and there, mostly on my end. But aside from that, I'd say it's about 90% done before we start moving on to recording lines.
Nice.
Ah, that's good. So this video of yours about Tikal is going to be a very good animation about Banjo-Kazooie.
Sure.
Hey, what?
The whole story of Tikal's life during Archie being retold with Banjo-Kazooie characters.
I thought you were. I asked you if there was like cartoons and comics about Banjo-Kazooie, and then you started plugging your videos. I was kind of confused.
Well, when you said comics or cartoons, I thought you meant anything else that's like random, not Banjo related.
Oh, fair enough.
I thought that's what you meant. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you're free to plug your stuff. That's fine with me. It just
Even
the
I
context was a
like,
bit.
wait, what? Why is it plugging? Yeah.
Just the timing was a bit
That's
off.
That's usually for the end of the stream.
But in terms of like actual Banjo comics, well, most I know is that there was a German one from like a German Nintendo magazine. But yeah, other than that, no, Banjo's never really delved into the realm of comics.
What a shame. Alrighty. Yeah, who knows? We might get Steph on here if you want. She sure has experience in streaming.
You okay, Ewan?
Yeah, I'm just reading Rhino's comment.
Yeah, asking me. It's Quick, Melty Man, use the opportunity to talk about the weird romance and sexual things Ken wrote into Archie comics. Elise isn't there, so she can't get a heart attack from writing.
How about no? How about no?
Yeah, no. Like, the
No.
whole... Yeah, that side of thing is way too much to get into.
Anyway, hello, Gothroth. Welcome. And hello, everyone else who's joining in.
But we all want to know about Bunny Rabbit and Scourge.
Oh god.
No. Well, I mean, I did kind of dodge that area when I covered Bunny's history on Archisonic character files, but yeah, when it comes to doing Scourge, well, jeez, to keep it short, it's somewhat of a misconception, but yeah, we'll save that for whenever I get around to doing Scourge on the show.
Dun dun dun. But yeah, we can make more perverted jokes than usual. Although Sylvia probably also won't appreciate it.
You go for it. It's fine.
Speaking of Bunny, so something we are not really delving in the Archie Sonic character file, but is tangentially related, is the Mobius 30 years later thing, or what did you call it? Light universe?
Yeah, like, the stories are called, like, Mobius 25 years later or 30 years later. I've heard the name Light Mobius Universe be tossed around, and I think that it came from John Gray. And I just do that just to keep it more short and not having to say, oh, Mobius X years later constantly.
Yeah, that's
Okay, yeah.
I have to say that every time.
Yeah.
So I had read that issue before. I'd completely forgotten about it until I was reading it again. But like, there's a whole bunch of like children of freedom fighters, and I think the funniest part was finding out that Bunny and Antoine's children, they were born cyborgs, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole... Yeah, they have, like, robotic arms and legs, but, yeah, aside from that, no, it's never explained if they were born with robotic limbs, or if they just got them after they were born, or...
Apparently being a cyborg is hereditary now.
Yeah, quite a lot of mystery in the Light Movies universe, which, I know in the Tikal episode we'll briefly mention a segment on that, but yeah, one of these days I'll do an episode that's fully dedicated to just talking about everything related to the Light Mobius universe, because there's way too much to get into right now.
And also apparently their Vector has a son with, who knows, probably maybe Vanilla.
Oh yeah, Argyle, yeah. But yeah, as for
Argyle
who
the crocodile.
Yeah, Argyle the crocodile, yeah. And as for who the mother is, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Well, what I was surprised to find out is he also possibly has a son?
Wait, who has a son?
Argyle.
Oh yeah, there's somewhat of a whole deal with, talking about, like, Argyle and Laura Sue getting together, and there's some hints about that, but, yeah, not really concrete evidence on, like, him giving birth or whatnot. Oh, yeah, Edmund, yeah, now I remember, yeah, the Edmund, not like the one from the past, but the one that looks like Cranky Kong but an echidna, yeah, there is some hints that, yeah, he does have a son in the future, and yada yada.
I would hope that, I would hope that Argyle is not the one that gave birth. No, thank you.
The way you said it, yeah, I'm like, wait. Argyle giving birth, yeah.
Oh, asexually produced, yeah. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that are kind of kept vague. Like, I know in an episode of Bumblecast years ago, I can't remember which episode, but I know when Ian Flynn was asked about the whole deal, like, you know, oh, Silver's future, and, like, why is there a statue of Laura Sue and whatnot, and yada yada, and he kind of admitted that he was really playing fast and loose with the details. So, yeah, not too much concrete evidence to back up certain things.
Oh well, the future can always change all the time anyway, so he can easily write himself out of it. But yeah, Vector is a grandpa. Oh boy, that's exciting.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of Silver's future, yeah, that's kind of the other thing that really frustrates me with how, you know, IDW's done it. Because, like, you know, in Archie Sonic, they actually surprisingly did two versions. Like, in the old timeline was the standard, oh, apocalyptic future, and Angel Island has fallen, and yada yada. And in the new timeline, like, the future is a lot more better, well, not a post-apocalyptic future, but more like industrial, kind of, under control by people. And yeah, it's really sad we don't really see like them doing something new or have Silver go on his own adventures in the IDW Sonic, because the most we got was near the end of the Middle Virus arc where he goes home, and then suddenly it's like, and I'm gonna stay in Sonic's world from now on. So, so that ending really comes off as like a Mighty Python sketch, like, oh, Silver's future. It's only a model. And I'm thinking, oh, let's not go to Silver's future. It's a silly place.
It's a silly place.
It's a good description of Sonic Team's story, telling a world building. Yeah, it's just some Monty Python sketch. Yeah, that sums it about it.
Also, not to start a completely different tangent, but is Mina Mongoose like fast?
Mina Mongoose does have super speed. In her introduction, it's never explained how. It wouldn't be until like Ian Flynn, like years later, with there was one story involving Mammoth Moogle, but basically a chance encounter with Mammoth Moogle, and he gifted her the power of speed and made her like forget this encounter, and yeah, that's the explanation of why she's super fast, even though she rarely used. Yeah, she's not really super fast ever since they went down the Songoose route, which is definitely a better direction for her.
I adore her children, by the way. They are incredible. I think it's Melody is one of them. Melody Mongoose.
Yeah, Melody and Sky Prower. Yeah.
And Sky is like, just, he looks so much like Tails, and he's able to fly, but he does so by his tails remaining stationary and his body spinning around.
Okay.
Yeah, the poor kid's still learning.
He's still getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets dizzy every time.
Yeah.
It's just so funny to see, though. It just comes as this spinning yellow blob with two tails sticking out the bottom. Yep.
Yeah, this guy go wee. So yeah, because that's another weird deal. It's like, oh yeah, in the Light Mobius universe, Tails is married to Mina Mongoose. And before anybody asks, no, there's never an explanation on how or why. It's just one of those random shippings that the writers just threw in. I think that was a Carl Boilers thing. Or maybe Ken Fenders, I can't remember.
Good to know that nothing changed. Sonic's always just been...
Yeah, a lot can happen in 30 years.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alrighty, so it's our 95th episode, 95. Anyone wants to talk about Windows 95 to be fitting with the
There we
theme?
go.
Windows 95. Oh man, yeah, 95. Yeah, that pretty much means we're 5 episodes away from our big 100 milestone.
Woo.
Yay.
My God.
Oh, what do we do on all our milestones? Someone has microphone problems or something?
Oh yeah, for my quality.
That's a great idea. That should be our 100th episode. Just 2 hours of us having microphone problems.
Just everyone get like the cheapest microphone you can find for that.
Yeah. We'll call it
Roger already have it, so.
It's gotta be the highlights. The highlights, the best moments, and it's just all the moments where my microphone doesn't work.
Yeah, we'll call it Ear Rape the Musical.
Ooh, nice.
Also, the bits that Roger is showing on stream, there's like a delay, so you may have seen already with Tangle. That's what I'm coloring right now. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Sylvia and me doing double team on this. She's coloring, I'm drawing.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised at how fluid her animation is in this.
Yes, and I regret doing it. This should have been this cartoon I worked on for a couple of days, but man, I've been working on this for weeks. I regret doing this. I'm never going to do this again.
Yeah, when I received the word to color, I was like, oh, okay, so it's like some extra frames, and then suddenly more work came, and more work came, and more work came. Like, okay, this is gonna take a while.
It's only a 20-second cartoon, but boy, it's very...
Well, you're obviously trying to make the most of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I hope to have it finished this weekend, although it's gonna be a lot of work.
Should be able to finish it tomorrow. I'm coloring part of my end, but the audio's already in.
Yep.
Which jump scared me a few times as I was like scrolling through the timelines. I was like, oh shit, what was that? And it turned out it was from the,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was going through a lot of that last night when I was trying to work on a YTP collab to try and catch up because, yeah, aside from the intros, I'm doing another collab, which is the Disneyland Fun YTP remake collab, and I've kind of been mixed about taking part in it. You know, on one hand, I wanted to try and do something different, like, okay, let's have a challenge. Let's do this thing that I'm not too familiar with. Like, I remember the old Disney sing-along taste, but the Disneyland Fun one was something I didn't have during my youth. But on the other hand, since I'm not that familiar with it, like the previous YTPs I've done, it's become a bit of a challenge of like, okay, what's a good joke for this or that? And yeah, with my work week being pretty busy coming up, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to keep it short just for the sake of my sanity.
Still, thanks for all your work before. You are one of the YouTube poop kings of our team.
Nah, I'm not that good. there's like other people that go really all out with YTPs. Like some even like really trippy visuals, and I'm just like, what kind of sorcery are you using, man?
Yeah, I'm really lucky with Sala. Look, well, you have Sylv?
Yeah, as Melty was saying, like, oh, I'm not that good at it, and then I can imagine you and Sala both looking at Melty like, what? Are you serious?
In
I guess
some
I'm just
ways,
too
yes.
modest. Yeah.
But yeah, Luke did make a poop for us today as well, to make sure he still has a presence despite not being here physically. But we'll wait for a good opportunity to play it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a particular theme, it's just an alternative poop of what we watched last time.
Yeah. The version of Sonic gets trashed. Or thrashed.
Yep.
Yeah, trash.
Trashed or thrashed, yeah. It has multiple titles for some reason. I think it has like a third one that's like completely different as well.
Oh, jeez.
Let me see.
It's the Adventures of Sonic episode that no one can come to an agreement on what the hell it's called.
Reminds you of the old Police Squad TV show where
Oh, yeah.
they always show the title of the episode, but then the narrator says something completely different. Just one of its stupid sense of humor of the show. I love it.
Yeah, the episode has also been called Scrap Valley.
Oh wow.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because they go to Scrap Valley, yeah.
Maybe they thought Sonic Gets Trash is too crude of a title or something.
Maybe they thought it was too meta with how the Sonic fan base is like.
Well, they weren't like that back then. That was still 1993.
Yeah.
We're still in innocent time.
They've
Yeah,
had
but
to-
innocent time in the 90s. Before the
Innocent.
2000s got plagued by classic Sonic fanboys, yeah.
Innocent.
Well, I mean, we were only introduced to all the creepy thing. Yeah, I know what Bloated Sonic came from there, but we didn't have time to process it yet.
Yeah.
No, that was the other episode we covered that week.
I know, but I mean,
Pseudo-Sonic.
it's around that time those things got introduced. Is just what I meant.
Alright.
But again, yeah, I guess it's the beginning of the end when we all started to lose our minds.
Yeah. Yeah, them 2010s, yeah. Not a good time.
Good times.
Let's see.
Apparently, Takashi Iizuka has like commented on the 2010s recently, and how like it was just a rough time for the series.
I was surprised. That's the first time they actually talk about the 2010s as the low point rather than the 2006.
Oh, it's Sonic
Yeah.
Boom and such.
Yeah, I saw the article, or at least the front cover of him just talking about Sonic Boom and how it was a failure, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he talks about how it was a failure and whatnot, but, you know, obviously doesn't talk about the fact that it was all Sega's fault for, you know, ruining Sonic Boom from the start with their Wii U exclusivity and being real strict on certain mandates and yada yada.
Interesting read, although I don't think it means too much, but...
Tell me, Iizuka, was the Guinness World Record for first Wii U game on the Unreal Engine worth it?
Well, I doubt it was his choice. It was Sega Sammy being a bunch of nutcases.
I mean, this is also around the time with Aaron Weber being the main moderator for the official Sonic Twitter account. And his main job was just constantly shitting out memes. Memes everywhere.
That's true. But then again, what else can you do? It's not like he had real content to work with.
Well, I mean, I remember in a dissected video you did, I think that was narrated by a different guy, talking about like, oh, like Sonic Twitter account, you had a character competition. Yes, let's celebrate the characters we all know and love, and then you cancel it.
Oh right, yeah, I remember that. Because it was
I was surprised to hear that was canceled. Like, I remember seeing some posts of it on Twitter, but then hearing that video saying that it was canceled, I'm like, what? Jeez.
I think it was because it was too much fighting going on. Because people saw that as like an actual point to make to Sega. Oh, if Shadow wins, then finally they're gonna make more serious games again. So they thought like, oh, this is an opportunity to actually communicate to Sega what we want. And I guess that's why they got scared. I mean, that's kind of the thing with Weber, because he was the first most open person to talk to fans and had a connection with Sonic Team. A lot of people saw him as like a tool to get to Sonic Team themselves. And I don't think he was particularly happy about that, which is understandable. Because, if we can't get Aaron Weber to agree with us, then he can say that directly to Sonic Team, and then we finally get what we want. Yay.
I guess so. It's just, I don't know, a lot of the decisions that, or at least stuff he was involved with, just really painted a sour impression for me. Like, there's that whole deal with, like, oh, hey, let's drag, like, Game Grumps Aaron and the completionist to do a stupid song about Big the Cat, yeah. Yeah, I bet that's definitely hasn't aged well with, the completionist finding out to be a criminal.
Well, that's the problem of getting YouTube people involved, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe I'm a secret serial killer too. So don't trust anyone on the internet, folks.
Oh, that's not a secret. It is.
Yeah, we know you have.
It's supposed to be a secret. Shh, 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 shh.
No, we know you have your secret plans to overthrow Sega because you have your model shaped like Green Hill Zone.
Shh.
Well, obviously we're gonna go overthrow the Sega store in Tokyo this year, so obviously.
Yeah, that's why we're going to Tokyo, not to go to Sega headquarters and break in or anything.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Just...
But in fact, when I went to Japan, I didn't really do much Sonic stuff. Like, I actually did try to find, like, the old Sonic arcade games, like Waka Waka Police and whatnot. But I had no luck in the areas I went to. It was more just the traditional Japan, claw machines and flying saucers and definitely a lot of rhythm games. I was surprised that Taiko Drum Master was still big over there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Sylvia's gonna enjoy that. She loves those games.
If she finds one.
Taiko no Tochi. Yeah. Gonna give those a try.
Yeah, I only played like the PS2 game, and that was like one of the few Taiko Drum Master games that got released in America. That's definitely one of those series that's more exclusive to Japan, which, it makes sense because it's very Japanese themed.
I was recently replaying Yakuza 5, and even that game had that Taito game in it. It really surprised me because it isn't the same game. So that really took me by surprise.
Oh, that was just like very silly because Roger shared that video with me. So I had a look. And usually you have like the drum character that does the voicing, and they're like, let's get started, like in Japanese. I'm just gonna make it easier for myself instead of pronouncing it. And instead of hearing that character, you hear Kiryu saying the lines. So he's like, let's get started, instead of the drum character, which is like, it feels so out of character because usually it's like a very cutesy voice doing it.
It's
Just
a very
make me
manly
laugh when I
voice.
heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, konnichiwa. Yeah.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
I cannot do a good impression of Kiryu, obviously, but it's still funny to hear, like, Kiryu doing the voicing. Would it be funnier if it was Majima, though? Like, Kiryu-chan!
Yeah.
Good
And
stuff.
and obviously my voice is too deep to try and do cute characters and all.
Yeah.
There was I remember there was a more recent game like that, or not like that. There's definitely one of the games in the series, a more recent one that added Megalovania from Undertale as a song.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
caught me
also
off guard.
in one of the drum games of Taiko no Tatsujin. It's also played
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
You said one of the games, but I didn't realize you meant that game specifically. You said one of the games.
Yeah, fair enough. I thought you were
Sorry.
referring to Yakuza too, but yeah. I got that.
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yakuza, nutty.
Yeah, but I know one of the Taiko. I know one of the Taiko games had Let It Go, which was kind of interesting.
I'm just imagining it in Yakuza now. You go to the karaoke bar and Kiryu's just like da 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 da.
And having a blue glowing eye and everything. Like.
Gonna have a bad time.
That'd be awesome.
I think it will be more an Ichiban thing. I think because he's
Probably.
more into the video games and such. Like, what's the game? It's one of his favorite.
Dragon
games to play.
Quest.
Dragon Quest. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, Kiryu can also be a bit of a nerd sometimes. I mean, Yakuza 0, he had like a whole sub-story where he was obsessed with winning arcade games. Although, granted, it was because he wanted to score a date with the girl in charge of the arcade. But still,
Oh right, yeah.
but yeah, he was into the video games.
But he's very good with crane games or UFO games, as they're also called.
Yeah.
Yeah, UFO games, flying saucer. Yeah, that definitely took me by surprise when I saw those and tried to experience it. Like, oh yeah, look, it has pinchers. Like, okay, it's like a claw machine. You think that's the goal, but no. The deal is that there's a prize like standing on these bars, and the goal is that you have to knock the thing to get it loose and fall through the bars instead of grabbing it. So yeah. Wasting a lot of money there, but yeah, unfortunately I didn't do that. I just stuck to the usual. Well, I think the only thing I wasted on was an actual claw machine, mostly because there was like a big plush bunny in there, and I was like, oh, I really want it 'cause it's just so cute. And the funny thing is, like, if you actually talk to like the vendors and whatnot, they actually will help out. If I'm not sure if there's different ways, it's been a while, but yeah, like if you ask them, they'll actually kind of like help move the plushie like a little closer or have it in a better position so you can grab it better. So I did that for a while, and jeez, must have wasted like $50 or so. I can't remember, but I eventually got it. I was desperate for that bunny.
Yeah, all you have to do is like look around for people, go like "Sumimasen," and then they come over. You just have to point it, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Yeah.
So
Now
you,
I'm just getting an,
Yeah.
now I'm just getting an image, or well, not an image, just being reminded of that one sort of like little video that Roger made where he, Sylvia, and Hyrate went to this like carnival place, and Hyrate spotted the unicorn with the dopey face, and he was like, "I need it," and he just kept mucked about with the claw machine, but he just couldn't get it, so Roger just animated him just punching the arcade machine onto its side. Because he's like, I need that unicorn.
Yeah. Yeah, unicorn with a derpy face. Yeah, now all I'm just thinking is, oh, derpy became an alicorn.
Yay!
I think it was from Despicable
Uh,
Me. Judging
yeah.
That is Princess Derpy. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly gonna give a try at those UFO devices, especially because I've been practicing in Yakuza. Because whenever there's like a mission that needs like the crane machines or the UFO machines, I take over because Roger's not very good at it. So like,
Teamwork.
yeah.
that's how it works.
Yesterday we started playing Yakuza Kiwami 2. Ooh. Let's see if we can finish it before going to Japan.
Nice.
We're already 3 chapters in, so we're going fast.
Yeah, that's so quick, like in 3 hours or something.
It's so funny to go from the later games to the earlier ones because the later ones are so verbose and the cutscenes go on forever. And they go to the earlier ones that go way faster. So where the later games, like it takes us like 3 days to get through one chapter, and now we go through 3 chapters in one day. Like whoa.
Yeah. It's such a different with animation and everything because it feels like in these ones they're like in Kiwami 2 they put a lot more effort in animations and the face expressions, while in later ones that I played or like Yakuza Ichiban, they seem to be more lazier in a way. But I got used to that first, but then I started playing Kiwami and Zero and such like There's more animation in these, or more expressions.
I mean, if you have a game with only 2 hours of cutscenes or a game with 50 hours of cutscenes, I guess you spend more time.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, same with the animation I'm working on now. Like, I'm only putting this much effort into it because it's 20 seconds long. If this was like a full IMP episode, I would never do it so full animated like this. Or I'd spend the whole year on this. It already took me 2 months.
Well, the IB episode is taking years at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I still recall that you were, of course, doing a similar sort of like chill stream when me and Sylvia were over at the Sonic Symphony in 2023.
Yeah.
And that was when we all poked fun at how that one particular stall was like something from Among Us or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I say we, though, I meant like you guys. Because I did rewatch it afterwards once we got back, well, or at least later on.
Alrighty.
Because I was just purely checking because I did type in the chat saying like, "Hello guys, it's just me, just saying hello."
Oh, we did respond
I think
to you.
that was before the show started, I think. Like, you quickly had a
Yeah.
look, said hello, and yeah.
And nobody
yeah.
responded to you.
Turned up again
Yeah.
on the intermission.
Intermission,
no
part one.
But then no one still responded.
Poor Ewan. What about you,
It's
Jim?
no respect. Yeah.
No respect at all.
Always the same.
Oh,
But that was 2023, damn.
Yeah.
time has no mercy.
Yeah.
'Cause it was 2024 when me, Luke, and our other friend Dan went to see it over at Hammersmith.
Yeah, lucky you that it showed again in London. Well, the one in Paris and Germany, the one that we could have gone to, got cancelled or moved or whatever. Like, eh. But at least I saw it once, but it's still a shame that Roger wasn't able to see it. But,
Yeah.
Oh.
But then
Oh, well.
again, you would probably get Roger just whinging. It's like, why are they showing Green Hills? Show me something else. Sega."
And then Shadow appeared, like, oh yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts on a new Donkey Kong game, I guess?
Looks pretty
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
I'm very excited for it. I was already pretty excited because I love Donkey Kong Country, so like I've got a special place in my heart for Donkey Kong games. But like, the more I see about this game, the more excited I get. Unfortunately, I do not have a Switch 2 yet.
Yeah, me neither. And for my case, I'm kind of just in that, I'll wait until there's like, a couple more exclusive games until I decide like, okay, I'll get a Switch 2 for, a handful of games and not just the one game. It's pretty much I said before, I never bothered getting a PS5 because, it got no games aside from like the Astro Bot, but even then that's not enough for me to win me over to get that console.
Yeah.
So what I never understand about Nintendo is why do they always try to do like a story but then get all the details wrong, like they didn't even put any research into it? Like there's supposed to be a prequel to the arcade game, but Cranky Kong is already there, even though Cranky Kong is supposed to be the young Donkey Kong from the arcade.
How old is Cranky Kong at this point? Like, if Pauline is that young and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cranky Kong's age is yes.
because I thought then if Pauline is a kid and this is before the arcade game, then the Donkey Kong you play as should be Cranky Kong himself. But I don't think that's what we're supposed to get out of it. But I don't think Nintendo put any thought into it.
You definitely are on the right track, and a lot of people have been pointing this out.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those instances where like Nintendo doesn't really give a shit.
But if you don't give a shit, then why bother with a prequel to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Cranky Kong's a time traveler.
I guess so.
He's a Time Lord.
Yeah, he's time traveling. Yeah, in a banana-shaped TARDIS. Yeah.
Either that, or he's just simply a non-entity.
But in the end, I guess it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about Donkey Kong lore, I suppose.
I am glad
I
that
do.
they threw in.
Ah,
I am glad they threw in
no.
some classical songs like DK Donkey Kong rap and all that. So,
that's classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
I think
fact, during
that
the
caught-
in fact, during the direct trailer, I was surprised to hear some music from DK64. Like, not just the rap song, but like other music, like there was like a battle theme. I can't remember the name, but it was like do 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 do, and I was like, oh, that's DK64. It's right there using that tune.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
I think
Yeah, you and you're crashing out.
We just vanished.
Yeah, we didn't hear what you were
You
saying.
cut out.
yeah, you cut out.
typical, because I was trying to say like even like the music composer who did the DK rap was surprised to like hear like it being used in the actual upcoming DK game. He was like, didn't expect that.
Yeah. Hopefully they give him credit this time.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Hopefully this time, unlike what happened with the Mario movie.
Yep.
Lucky Nintendo, he doesn't sue them like Crush 40 does.
Oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta say, I'm not super interested because I'm always sensitive in whatever video games have interesting locations, and I find the location of this game super boring. It's just a bunch of rocks flying in limbo.
But you can smash everything, Rod. You can smash the
Yeah, you can smash
environment. You can
Yeah, but
smash. You can
I wanna
smash.
smash-
Take out your anger on everything.
I want to smash buildings and cities. I want to smash random empty landscapes of nothingness. What's the point?
Well, I'm sure you can basically carve words into the cliff faces and be like, here's what I think of this Nintendo. Take
Yeah,
a
or-
good long look at it.
Yeah, or just have it spell out "fuck Green Hill Zone."
I
Just need a
can't.
particularly large cliff.
Yeah.
Just say, just writing down saying better than Green Hill Zone.
The only reason why you buy the game is just to endlessly make messages in it. I'm never gonna type out messages in Discord again. I'm just gonna have endless screenshots of Donkey Kong spelling out things in damage rock. Yeah. Donkey Kong is my typewriter now.
Just like writing down like good opinion, or just simply yes. Even if it's like a big
Nice.
fat question, it's like long and complicated, and Roger just smashes into the cliff face. Yeah.
Yeah. Or bring back the classic "I like pie."
There you go. Why not?
Yeah.
If only you could actually like, create like a pie from the whole sort of like landscape. So
Oh,
then
yeah.
Roger then can just like say, "Behold, my pie monument."
Well, I think there is an option in the game where there's like you have like a rock and you can like carve it and paint it and whatnot. So I mean, you could do that to make it
Yeah.
look like a pie.
All right.
Yeah, that was an interesting feature that was completely unexpected. Is just, hey, here you can just sculpt things out of rock.
I can already tell people are gonna really abuse that with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, naturally.
At least
I-
would not be amused. Yeah.
Elise would not be amused, nor would
Yeah.
she be amused about this segue. I remember there was like there was some like program someone made to like easily 3D model a dildo, and immediately Tumblr found it. And they started making anything but dildos with it.
It's the dildo apocalypse.
It's just like the one time, the only time you can give people the ability to create something in 3D and they won't make dicks with it is the one time they have to make dicks with it.
He's amused. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm expecting from the Donkey Kong whatever rock sculpting thing.
Yeah.
Making Nintendo regret their decisions, like what Pandora's box have we unleashed?
And we sue them.
Also, as Gothworld is mentioning in the chat, also there's huge muscle forms.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Those power-up forms that DK has, where he turns into other animals.
Yep.
Yeah, the zebra, a ostrich, was it?
Ostrich, yep.
Yeah, zebra, ostrich. I think
and-
there was another one. Rhino, I think. Yeah.
No.
No, I think it was just him, but bigger.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's right, yeah.
right. Yeah.
The rhino does appear in it, but he's like traveling around with Cranky Kong for some reason.
Yeah, Ramby!
Ramby, there we go.
Yeah, like speaking of DK characters, that was kind of the one thing that was a bit annoyed of. It's like, you know, the new characters are cool and all, and they bring back Diddy and Dixie, that's nice and all, but I don't know. I guess the other side of me is just, there are other Kong characters that exist, like Chunky Kong, Tiny Kong, and whatnot. Like they could use some love right now. I mean, like, geez, poor Tiny Kong has been relevant since like Mario Super Sluggers back in like 2008.
Oh
Well-
no, anyway.
Donkey Kong makes better use of its characters than Mario does anyway. 'Cause Mario doesn't even have Toadsworth anymore. I never get over that.
Yeah, that's so
Toadsworth.
stupid with the movie. Yeah, like you would expect Toadsworth to be in the room when Mario
Yeah.
walks in, and it's like some other generic old Toad. Like,
Yeah,
who are
it's just
you?
it's just generic Toad with glasses. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want Toadsworth.
Yeah.
And why is...
me?
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
Yeah, you too.
And I'm shocked
Yeah.
Waluigi didn't do nothing with him either, other than put him in Mario Kart, I guess. But Nintendo's
Yeah,
not very
well,
good at utilizing their characters now.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with oh geez, I'm trying to remember, like, with like the DK characters, it's like, there's the whole Tiny Kong deal. It's the weird thing I always found really strange is that she has been irrelevant, and yet she still keeps getting cameos in the Super Smash Brothers series, where she has the older look most of the time, but then in Smash Brothers Ultimate they go back to her younger look. So like, okay, is there some kind of weird copyright going on with her designs or something? Because I've heard the older design was specifically done by Nintendo, and the original was, I guess, Rare's property, I guess.
Oh, that's possible. They just want to get rid of
Maybe.
rare stuff. Poor
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah, poor
You know,
Rare.
It's kind of weird because, like, obviously Rare is owned by Microsoft now, and they're hard at work making Sea of Thieves. But, like, it seems like Rare still has a good relationship with Nintendo. And, like, Microsoft seems okay with, like, their games appearing on Nintendo consoles. So, it really seems weird that Nintendo and Rare just don't collab anymore.
Yeah, that is a tragedy. Yeah.
They should make a new game for Nintendo. They should make it. Oh my god! If Rare makes another Donkey Kong Country, I'd be so stoked.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But most of the people from the original team are long gone, so it doesn't matter that much.
Fair enough.
It's a whole new team now. I guess Yooka-Laylee
Good
is
point.
your return to Donkey Kong, I suppose.
Oh yeah, with Yooka-Laylee, that only has 2 games. Yeah, there's the first game, the Impossible Maze, and then for some reason the remastered version, even though it hadn't been that long since the original release.
Oh, didn't even know they had a remaster, but okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
didn't
a
either.
thing for some reason. Yeah.
They need to
Fixing
make
up
the
the
money.
first game. Fixing up the first game pretty much in a way, but I lost interest when I was playing the first ukulele game. Like, oh, it's cool, but the worlds were like rather confusing at times, and I just got tired of it from playing. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of the sad thing, because that was the first game I got when I bought a PS4, or at least a used PS4. It's like, okay, I finally get to play ukulele, having a good time for a while, and then suddenly lost interest with it. I don't know, I guess, like, it has that gimmick of like, oh, giving it a certain amount of page and, makes the world bigger and whatnot. And I feel like it kind of has that same issue that Banjo-Tooie had, where the worlds just feel a little too big and takes a while to get from point A to point B.
it felt like a chore eventually.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
anymore.
I think my issue is I love Donkey Kong Country 2 too much, and that game is like super atmospheric with its pirate theme and all that. So every single time I get a new Donkey Kong, it looks super generic and bright. It's like, I want the atmospheric Donkey Kong again.
Yeah, you just get very spoiled.
I'm just too spoiled. Yeah, I mean, I want my platforms to have like a unique look, and if everything looks like Kirby and Yoshi, then what's the point? It's like utilize what makes it unique. Like Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 were much more had like an intense, gritty atmosphere to them, which I really like. And so, I don't know, it looks super generic now. It kind of ruins the fun for me.
Well, let's hope the Kirby Cafe, if we can get in, won't be like generic looking, or else you'll be grumbling about that place the whole time at the Kirby
Yeah.
Cafe.
Everything's too pink.
Okay, to be more positive, I've been playing Hitman games lately, and they're way more in my taste because then the locations are actually interesting. Like if to infiltrate like a palace in Paris, and then like, go inside of it like a fashion competition to secretly assassinate someone and all that. It's way more interesting. Like, look, locations that someone put thought into, and you can really like interact with it, and has like an atmosphere and a personality to it. It's not just grassland and Iceland. No, I'm at the Miami racetracks, and I have to secretly assassinate one of the drivers. So I have to sneak around the garages or install like a bunch of weird technology to the machines and break them down. So that's a lot of fun. I have a good time there. So there you go. More positive.
That's good, yeah. But yeah,
Good.
speaking of games, recently I finally got around to trying to play through the Shantae games. Shantae, Half Genie Hero. So I played through the first game, and yeah, it was an interesting idea. Being one of the last Game Boy Color games that it was released very late into the system's lifetime. But even so, it's definitely rough around the edges, like having to time the dance steps and do transformations and the screen crunch and whatnot. But yeah, it's a little rough. But fortunately, the next game I decided to play is technically is the newest game, Risky Revolution, even though it takes place after the first game. And the way I managed to do that was mostly thanks to alternatives. We'll just go with that. But yeah, I'm having a good time with that right now. Surprisingly, I actually have some of the other Shantae games that I'm gonna be looking forward to playing. Only one I don't have right now is the Seven Sirens. For some reason, that's the only one I haven't gotten yet. But hopefully that game will go on sale for the Steam summer sales. But yeah, Shantae, I've known the series for a while. It's it's nice to finally play it. And in some ways, Shantae just really fascinates me. Like, it came out on the Game Boy Color very late, and there was an attempt to make a sequel, and that didn't go anywhere. Then the series just died off, and then they brought back with Risky's Revenge. It's like, oh, cool. And then Shantae, like, regained her popularity. So now, as the years go on, we would sometimes get a new Shantae game.
It's the ultimate underdog, yeah. It's kind of weird. It started as a Capcom game, and now it's just an indie game, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was made by Way Forward, but yeah.
Well, it was published by Capcom, and I see that big title, so
yeah.
then it just installs in my head as a Capcom game. I know it's wrong.
Yeah.
I played a
But yeah,
bit,
funny-
but yeah, it's like a big Metroid game, so I don't like that. Big maze, so it's not my
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, well, one of the games I played feels like a Metroidvania. But yeah, funny enough with Way Forward, I'm sure nowadays they're well known for the Shantae franchise, but for me, my first exposure to Way Forward was actually the DuckTales remaster.
Yeah, shame that never got a follow-up, huh? Like, no Darkwing Duck, no...
Yeah, that is kind
Rescue
of
it?
weird, because, like, I mean, there is a DuckTales 2 that could have been a fun way to give that the remaster treatment.
Well, too late now. The actors are dead, but they were really lucky to get the Scrooge, the actor.
Oh yeah, he was like in his 90s when that came out.
Like, he died very quickly after the game was released, yeah. So they just got him right the last moment.
Well, I think he was kind of still kicking around, because I know he appeared in a
Yeah.
few Mickey Mouse shorts from the... Oh crap, I can't remember the style that's usually referred to. It's like the one that shows up in like YouTube shorts and the Disney Plus, and there's a whole ride in that theme. But yeah, I know he voiced Scrooge in like 2 shorts, and like the one where he's like, "Oh, can I borrow $5?" It's like, yeah, that was the last time he played the character.
Yeah, real trooper, Alan Young.
Yeah.
Real trooper.
Ironically, Alan not so young.
Yeah, and ever since then, it always kind of feels like Disney's been struggling to try and find a consistent new voice for Scrooge, because it seems like whenever the character has a speaking line, it's always someone different. Like with the rest of the Mickey Mouse shorts, oh, they got someone else. And, in Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like, oh, it's a different guy, or it's cameo in the Legend of the Three Caballeros. And sure, there was the DuckTales reboot with David Tennant. It's like, yeah, he's good in his own way and whatnot. But even so, I always still find Alan Young to be the definitive Scrooge.
He's been so
Yeah.
long, yeah. Yeah, the problem with David Tennant is it's a celebrity, so it's kind of hard to keep them around for so long. It's not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least he does like a pretty good job, especially because well he is Scottish, I think, so he's also like putting the Scottish accent in very well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, a more authentic accent.
yeah,
I remember when he was announced as the new voice of Scrooge. I I intentionally like responded to a British Doctor Who fan friend of mine. I said, "Yeah, but can he do a convincing Scottish accent?" just, to, just to annoy him.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm Scrooge McDuck, and I'm the Doctor.
I'm the doctor.
and a doctor.
Yeah.
And instead of using a TARDIS, he uses his money
Yeah, money
safe
bin.
building. Yeah, money bin.
Yeah, I mean, it does have a similar shape to the TARDIS, so
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But it's like very huge, and when he lands like in, I don't know, a certain age, then he just crushes people, like ruining history in one go.
Yeah.
Would be funny if they make like a list of voice actors that if David Tennant is unavailable, just move on to the next Doctor. They go to Matt Smith, etc. So just keep it with Doctor Who's.
I mean, that would be funny, because, yeah, Matt Smith was my first Doctor when I started to get into the series.
He was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I miss Matt Smith.
And if he's unavailable, to go to Peter Capaldi or whoever he was.
Yeah, Peter
Yeah.
Oh, he's swearing
Capaldi,
Peter Capaldi.
Jodie Whittaker, and whoever's doing the Doctor now, yeah.
Oh, that's a can of worms.
Yeah, like, I was, like, not to get too much into it, but right now I'm kind of...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a great way to put it. That's a great way to put it.
BBC took him out.
So, yeah, I have seen the... Yeah, I have seen the 3-part series where David Tennant came back for a while before, like, the new guy came in. And then I saw, like, the Christmas special they did with the new guy. But no, I haven't caught up with the new series right now, and when I looked up the episodes, like, what happened recently, I was looking through his episodes, and I'm like, wait, really? 2 seasons? That's it? That's it for this guy? Man, I feel like we're repeating history with a Colin Baker moment here. Oh boy.
Guess he
Yeah.
wasn't popular enough or something.
He never got to face a Dalek like he wanted.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing, and it's kind of strange, because, like, I think that was the same with Colin Baker's Doctor. I don't think he ever, at least in the show, I know there's an audio the 6th Doctor encounters a Dalek, but yeah.
Last actor was Ncuti Gatwa, I think. Although I'm not sure if you pronounced that right.
Yeah, I can't remember how to pronounce the 15th Doctor's name. It's like N something.
Nuti, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not making it easy for us, no.
yeah.
You're the British person, you know it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
British expert, yeah, since Luke's gone.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm
Since Luke's gone.
He's not dead or anything, jeez.
Yeah, I know.
You never know. Luke might end
No,
up.
you and how do you feel being the
Yeah.
backup British guy?
I feel so very honoured that you have me as a backup.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've always complained about getting no respect, so, you know, today's your time to shine.
I just looked up the
And then
name.
by the next stream, I'll be back to just being me.
No, you still be the representative of the entirety of the UK. So whenever I ask you, what is your opinion about the new Donkey Kong, I don't want your opinion, I want the UK's entire opinion. Like, as a representative of your entire country, what does your country think of this?
I just looked
The
up the
banana store.
name. I just looked up the name. It's Ncuti Gatwa. So there we go. It's not that hard.
Ah, alright.
Because he's
Doesn't mean you pronounced it correctly.
NQT.
well, he's from Rwanda, which I cannot pronounce properly. So I assume it's like pronounced like Ncuti, like in a way. Anyway, it's not like you guys are like trying.
Well, I tried. I said Nuti good. Well, whatever.
Ncuti.
Yeah, I just think it's silent to see. Makes more sense. Yeah, maybe.
You're not French. Oh no, wait, it's the last time.
That was my my guess. So, what else do we need to talk about? What's your opinion about Windows 95? It's the 95th episode, so
Yeah, it had Minesweeper on it. So yay.
That was pretty
That's
sweet.
a game.
If I think I had a Microsoft 95 when I was younger. Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
times.
same. There was a laptop.
Okay.
It was supposed to be for my dad's work, but me and my sister just mostly used it just to play games on it.
Didn't that have the pinball game automatically on it, or was that a later version of it?
I think
Oh
that
yeah,
was
with the
a-
space.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, the space pinball. Oh man, I
2000.
remember playing that so many times. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Such a crime that they never included it again. Just that
Yeah.
one time.
A real tragedy.
Because even when I was,
3D pinball
even
was
when we
awesome.
upgraded, because even when we upgraded, like it was gone. It's like, where's the pinball game? You can't just basically give us the pinball game and then just get rid of it. That's considered a downgrade at this point.
Yeah, and it's surprised that they never did a remastered version. You know, how we had got, Crash and Spyro and, other companies joining in on the remastered craze. You'd think they would do the same with Space Pinball, but nope.
No.
All right, Gex is released this week, isn't it? I haven't
Oh
checked.
yeah, the recent port of the Gex trilogy on the newer consoles, yeah.
Guess we have to buy it quickly. They got a new installment.
Yeah, quote unquote new, yeah.
I liked it. It's a 3D platform with interesting locations, and like other 3D platformers.
Yeah.
Get a level based on
Yeah,
anime, and a level based on superheroes, a level based on fairy tales, ideas,
One
concepts,
based on wars.
wars, and
Yeah,
Christmas.
even if it all just boils down to just movie parodies of the 90s.
True.
Well,
Yeah.
Rhino says the pinball game died because they couldn't make it
Alright,
for bit systems.
you could.
Ah.
Alright. Crashed out
I
there,
always
but
find it ridiculous when they hear stuff like that saying, we couldn't get it to work for a 64-bit system. It's like, is it really that difficult for like all you guys just to try and put your heads together just to make it work?
But yeah, with back to Gex, I have played a little bit of the first game thanks to the PS3's PSN store. I have no idea if that's still around or not. But yeah, I have the first game, and then I later got the other two on PlayStation thanks to used game stores. And funny enough, that's like another one of those games that I haven't had much experience with. Like, I remember first seeing it at a friend's house, and he was playing it a bit. Like, oh yeah, the cutscene looks so cool. I can't remember if it was the PlayStation version or a different version, because the first game was released on other consoles. But yeah, Gex is definitely one of those franchises that's just something that can only work in the 90s. Because I imagine if they tried to reboot Gex now, it would be more like, internet cringe humor instead of, 90s catchphrases. Yeah.
probably, yeah. I remember at the first Gex as a demo, and they only had the spooky house level, but I kept playing it because I love the music. Oh, the music is so good.
Yeah.
And Deep Cover Gecko was my first PlayStation 1 game, together with Mega Man Legends 2.
Yeah.
Good times. I love these games, yeah.
Ah, nice, yeah.
Guess
I
we
actually
should-
did cover Gex on Forgotten Media, even though that was kind of back in the day when I was real lazy with game research. It's just, rather than like play the games for myself, I'll just look up random videos and Wikipedia articles and go off like popular consensus, because that was kind of around the time with Forgotten Media was more just, just basic overviews and less about my personal experience. So definitely one of those episodes I'm not proud of. Only thing I'm surprised about is the fact that Resource, that there were going to be some Gex the Gecko action figures by Resource, but sadly they all got canceled. Which is a real shame because they look cool from the preview photos.
Hey, but isn't
Well,
that
see-
perfect? If Gex has a remaster, then you can remaster your own old video.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah.
Sorry,
Alright,
Sylv.
you beat me to it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sylvia.
Hey.
I've thought about remaking that episode with, the Gex trilogy now being ported onto newer consoles, and I have the actual trilogy on somewhat original hardware. So like, okay, I can revisit that, give it better justice, talk about my personal experience more, yada yada.
There we go.
That's kind of that's kind of the thing. I've had some ideas with Forgotten Media. The most I've done it was the 100th episode special, where I really went out with talked about the shortest lived TV shows ever, and then it went more into revisiting past topics like covering the Game Boy Micro again, where back then I didn't talk my experience of it because I didn't have the console and I got facts wrong. But now this time, hey, I have the console, so now I can actually talk about it properly.
Hey, but if you're gonna
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about Gex on Forgotten Media, then especially mention the Game Boy Color one, because that one is actually forgotten. Because
Yeah.
this isn't included in the remaster. Poor Game Boy
Oh, yeah,
Color.
with
Poor.
oh yeah, with the different ports and whatnot. Because yeah, with this new Gex trilogy, I have no idea if it's gonna be like if it has different ports or if it's just one version. Because I kind of assumed that it was just the PS1 versions of the game, or at least the versions that had like the FMV cutscenes with the CGI Gex model interacting with like the human agent extra and whatnot.
Probably, yeah. Not the Nintendo 64 one, no.
Yeah, who knows?
I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know for sure. But I can't imagine they go for the most fancy version. Otherwise, it would be kind of
Yeah.
silly. Although Gex is silly, of course. So who knows?
Yeah. Silly 90s gecko, yeah.
I still have a soft spot for it. Out of all the 90s platformers that go with the television movie theme, it's the only one that's actually creative in its level and its theme it picks. I always hate that. You have like a game like Cool Spot Goes to Hollywood or Garfield Goes into television, but or especially Bug is terrible at this. Like it's supposed to have this television theme, but then almost all the levels are still generic. It's like, oh, here's the Egypt level. Like, how many movies are about Egypt anyway? It's like,
Well, to be fair, the people that worked on Sega Saturn games really didn't take advantage of the console's hardware.
well, it has more to do with creativity than the hardware. But sure, that's also true.
Oh,
That's also true. But I was more thinking of
Yeah.
the level themes. Be more creative. And Gex was a level based on wrestling, and another level based on Gilligan's Island and on Kung Fu movies. So there you go. You're
Yeah,
using the
Gilligan's Island.
theme.
yeah, I know there's like a Wizard of Oz boss fight theme where you're going up against this brain-looking creature. Yeah.
Exactly. They're taking the theme and running with it. They don't just use it as a cheap, look, here's the caveman level. I'm like, okay. All
As
those
well as
caveman
in the-
movies.
As well as in the winter-themed area, you obviously get to fight an evil Santa Claus, which I'm sure Hentai Boy would.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They make like a whole Christmas special theme stage. That's great. I love
Yeah, it's just so like, yeah, time to beat up that fat bastard.
it. Poor Santa.
I mean, I did hear that they recently added like an update to include the UK like redubs for Gex, Enter the Gecko, and the third Gex.
All right, you had your own comedian replacing them, huh? You
Yeah.
can't stand
well-
American humor.
Now they've just got to change it up so it's more sort of British related, so that we can better understand it. Because we're Brits, we don't understand those Yanks.
Yes, I guess all those references too American for you.
But yeah, like in the second game, he was voiced by Leslie Phillips, so you had a very more sort of like sophisticated British person who basically sounded like he was very kind of sophisticated, but yet he still ended up making those sort of witty sort of like pop culture jokes that are just on that sort of level of workably funny.
Well, that's really interesting because Gex is such a specific like mascot with an attitude voice, and then you give him like a sophisticated voice. It's completely out of character. That's kind of, but kind of fitting in its own wacky way.
Yeah, I guess they just looked at like the promo pics of like, oh, Gex is wearing a tuxedo. Okay, James Bond character. Okay.
There you go.
I guess that's what they thought of.
Get Roger Moore to voice him.
And then for the third game, it was Danny John Jules. He
Alright.
basically just ported cat voice. Is anybody home? Does anyone know what rosebud means?
See, that's at least more the mascot kind of voice you expect, yeah.
Yeah, kind of weird that Gex had like 3 different voices, at least in terms of the UK.
Yeah, in America it was always Dana Gold.
Yeah.
Except for in Mad Dash Racing for the Xbox, where
Okay.
he was voiced by Billy West.
Gex made appearance in a later game? I have no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea about that one. Yeah.
More Forgotten
Yeah,
Media. So out
I
obscured
guess that's true,
Melky.
because I never did mention that game in the original. That could be an idea for the remastered version.
Yeah, more reason to make it. You need some.
I don't think anyone remembers this game but me. It was like Sonic R but worse.
Ah.
Ah.
That's a shame. I love the concept of Sonic R. But yeah. Not many games can pull it
Give it a
off.
try then. Find an emulator or totally legal method of playing the game emulator.
For what console is it? The original Xbox or what?
The original Xbox, yeah.
All right.
Original Xbox, yeah.
Looking at the voice cast, it is like 90% Billy West and like 5% Willow Ray and 2% Charles Martinet.
Wasn't that like similar with Conker's Bad Fur Day? The voice actor of Conker also. Did,
Oh yeah,
like,
in Conker's Bad Fur Day, like every
Yeah.
male character except for the Great Mighty Pooh was voiced by one guy.
Yeah, and then of course American McGee's Grimm, where despite being an episodic series, every character was voiced by Roger L. Jackson. Yeah.
Or Army Sarge Heroes, where everyone was voiced by what's his
Jim
name?
Cummings.
Jim Cummings. There we go. His.
I was so stoked to find out about that because like looking back on it, it was very obvious. Like I knew Sarge was Jim Cummings. He sounded way too familiar. But then I found out every male character was voiced by Jim Cummings. And I'm like, oh my god, this man is incredible.
At least in that game it makes sense since they're plastic soldiers, so I guess they're all made from the same mold. And that's why they all have the same voice actor, I guess. So it has a bit of a built-in excuse.
Oh yeah. Speaking of like surprise voice actor findings, one that I recently remembered was there was like some educational PC games all like themed around Dr. Seuss and whatnot. And the one thing that really caught me by surprise was that like the Cat in the Hat is like the main narrator and whatnot, as you might expect. But in those educational games, he's actually voiced by Charles Martinet.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was before he became more famous for the Mario series.
Huh. Yeah, he did a lot of mini voices. I remember he also did Skies of Arcadia one voice. It wasn't the Sega game. Funny. What surprised me in terms of voice actors recently was that I learned that one of the Disney Aladdin's educational games actually had Robin Williams do voices, because I thought he only returned for the last movie. The fact that he also did one of the low budget stuff kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah, I think that was his. I think that was kind of the condition where after the drama between him and Disney and yada yada yada, they did come to a compromise. And when it came to coming back to voice the genie, he only agreed to do it for like smaller projects, like the educational PC games. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so he
'cause it
deliberately wanted to do
wasn't
the
a-
smaller. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't about the money for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think it's the other way around. It's like, oh, I'm only going to return for the big movie, and that's for, I'm going to do the educational game that nobody's going to play. But, yeah, that's cool. Real dedication to the craft. So, good job, Sir Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Kind of similar with the Sonic movie that Jim Cummings came back just for Robotnik. Like he came out from not Jim Cummings, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
That Jim Carrey came back from retirement just to play the role for Robotnik because he liked doing it.
I was very confused. I'm like, when did Jim Cummings come back to Robotnik?
Yeah. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, my apologies. I fixed it.
Wrong Jim.
Just referring to the that cartoon where he voiced a certain evil scientist, and he just made a bunch of Robotnik memes when it was the Sonic episode. Remote.
Oh.
OJKO or something, right?
Yeah. Okay, KO. Let's be heroes. His character's like Dr. Boxman or something like that. I don't. But like, I watched that episode. I'm like, oh, this evil scientist is voiced by Jim Cummings. They're definitely gonna make Robotnik references, and I don't remember them doing that, other than like maybe a throwaway "I hate that hedgehog" or something. I just remember feeling disappointed that they didn't take advantage of that.
Although one thing about Jim Cummings in the Sonic movie, I think he did have an interview with the actor for Agent Stone, so then he had a bit more of a Sonic talk.
But now you said Jim Cummings.
Yeah, I mean Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings did an interview. He has a YouTube show where he interviews other voice actors, and for one special episode, he actually interviewed the actor of Agent Stone. So then he did revisit his actual Robotnik voice for a bit.
Lee.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I have noticed though that usually when Jim Cummings does Dr. Robotnik nowadays, he doesn't actually sound like Robotnik.
He's
Like-
going for more Pete's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of throws me off because I guess in some ways, like, echoey tone to his voice because he was always stuck in that chair in Robotropolis. But yeah, there is some noticeable differences.
Yeah, it's a shame when
Yeah.
they lose
Yeah.
that voice. Oh well.
I've heard him do it once, like more properly, at some convention. Some fan asked him about Robotnik, and then he did the voice. He's like, "Did you say they had prisoners?" I'm like, "Yep, there he go. He can do it. He can still do it. He just usually doesn't." It was so funny to see that he like remembers that detail about the voice, is that Robotnik is very breathy and dramatic.
Yeah. Almost sounding like he's having an orgasm at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Smell that polluted air.
Well, I think he mentioned that in one of his interviews that for most characters, you always have like a specific word or line they say to get back to their voice. And
The
with
trigger
this-
word
yeah.
for voicing. Yeah.
It's like they need to say that specific sound or line, and then they're back in that voicing. I was like, all right.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I remember there was an old interview years back. I think it was at a Disneyland themed event, but it was Nightmare Before Christmas themed, and Glenn Shaddix was talking about how he gets into the character of voicing the mayor of Halloween Town, and the one that like he usually gets him going is that he remembers like a line from, I think it was an airplane or something, and it was like a certain line, and it kind of like says it to like get back in the character. I have to find that again. It's very interesting.
That's cool. But yeah, I have that too. Whenever I do the Sora voice, I always have to start with Kyrie just to get in that voice. I don't know why, but
Oh, you don't start with ooh coconut. Yeah.
sadly, no.
Yeah, I have to say too, when I have to do a granny voice for Roger, I just put up this granny voice that I did in a Dutch dubbed animation, one of Roger's, and then I get into the granny voice. I just have to do it in Dutch first, and then I translate it. Like I switch to English, and that's all good. I know Roger knows which one is Liz. And then suddenly I got this granny voice, and then all is good. But if I do without it, it's a bit trickier for some reason. Yeah.
It almost kind of sounds like the granny Bluey and Bingo. You know, here come the grannies.
Here come the granny.
I actually have an interesting one, a way to get into a specific character, and that's Sonic. So my Sonic voice is kind of like evolved a lot over the years, and it was like originally like a straight impression of Jason Griffith, but it was bad, and so I've kind of like modeled it after kind of a mix of Jason and Ryan. And so whenever I need to get into character as Sonic, I will say like his first line from Sonic Unleashed, and I'll say the first half like Jason, and then the second half in my own voice. So I'll say, "Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman," and that always gets me into character.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of had something similar. Like when I was like an audition tape for like Orbot and Cubot for a project, and yeah, I think like the one thing that kind of got me going was this one dumb line from Sonic Forces, and it was like them talking about like, oh, I don't have legs, and oh, don't remind me. So that for some reason that always just stayed stuck in my head. So whenever I try to get into those voices again, it's just, you know, I don't have legs, neither do you, dude. Don't remind me, dude. The dumbest lines for dumbest Sonic characters.
Yeah.
Weird paradox I've had to deal with.
But
even
that-
though I haven't really,
It's the
Yeah.
perfect summation of the personality, so it fits
yeah.
perfect.
And to think I've never actually voiced Orbot and Cubot in anything. The closest thing I did was just recycling that audition tape for Orbot and Cubot's RT Sonic character files bit for an ending tag.
Sorry, I already have voice actor for them. Mike the Reaper, my pal. Sorry, Melty. Maybe one day.
that was Mike the Reaper?
Yeah. Well, I don't use Orbit Cubot much. Mostly my Sonic Roblast 2 things.
Hell yeah. Well, I think the audition I did for it was like for some kind of webcomic dubbing we had going on. It was something like, oh yeah, the old Sonic Channel comics. Like, oh, let's try and recreate those and then dub them over. And because yeah, it actually is in the chat in the server. But then that project just ended up going nowhere.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it was too much work to get everything colored because I wanted to have it colored but also dubbed, but the coloring work was taking so much time and so much details of figuring out like, how does this line work? Is that this line or is that line? Like, because like, so it didn't go anywhere. So it's dead.
Aw.
It's dead. It's
So
been
that-
dead for almost 2 years. But that's how
Ah,
my projects go, I suppose. So no surprise there.
Yeah. I mean, we could like still do it, just use like the actual illustrations, because I know that's what lots of people do. But oh well.
Yeah, I thought about making it fun, but I'm too ambitious, and then I know Luke did all of the lines, and I was like, oh, I want character, and then he just did all of the lines. I was like, look, take it easy. Like, he did everything in one go. Like, pressure, yay! That was a good time.
So did Sal when with the
Yeah.
the Max Reaper project. He did all the voices, even a girl.
Oh yeah. I auditioned for the girl, as kind of like not even seriously, but no, I did not voice Rocco Chan.
Well, I've actually used Molly, yeah, but you did do her voice, yeah.
I did, and it was awful. I can't do it. He's like, my name's Rocco Chan. I come from hell. It was
like-
just this was, yeah.
Just like the old IP episodes, guys doing girl voices. Good times.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I used to do like videos where I posted like unused dialogue that it was like recorded stuff I did that went unused for certain dissected episodes. And the one I remember was my first introduction where we talked well, our first impressions on IDW Sonic. And I remember we originally had this whole segment talking about Treasure Team Tango, and then I recorded a bit of that to like talk of it, but that whole segment got scrapped in the final version. So yeah, so my audition or at least unused dialogue is like all that remains of that segment.
Sorry, I delete a lot, but I delete a lot of my own stuff too. So I very often get embarrassed with my script when I'm editing, or just get nervous. It's like, I'm sounding too whiny. Make it quicker, faster, snappier.
Yeah, I remember dealing that too with when I tried to continue on with Give Me Chaos Theories, and yeah, I don't know why I haven't deleted that series. I just consider that to be a very failed experiment, and that was kind of the deal because like it was still like somewhat 2010s. I was still in a very sour mood with Sonic, and yeah, that was still when Sonic Forces was still like the current main Sonic game. So I wasn't in the good mindset. So trying to continue on without being like so angry and bitter and whatnot. And I had the last episode I did went through like, geez, like maybe 5 or 6 rewrites, mostly on my end, just to try and find some balance to not sound too angry or way too positive. And then after that, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing this series. No, it's I've lost interest. Too many rewrites just ruined my interest. And fortunately, I did find better alternatives, like, Archie Sonic character files being more of my forte. It's like, okay, it's Archie Sonic's more of my thing, and the other nice thing about it is that not many people have done videos talking about it, so like, okay, fun challenge, I can videos where I talk about characters and their histories and my personal thoughts, yada yada.
Yep, and now you can keep all your Sonic thoughts to my stream here. Let's sour it up here.
Yeah, pretty much, because I really don't feel like making standalone videos of my thoughts on Sonic Cross Worlds is blah blah blah, or trying to remake my very poorly made retrospective Sonic series Sonic games. Yeah, sorry folks, the Sonic retrospective thing is just one of those things that have to remain lost to time. I'm really not proud of that.
You could say it's forgotten history.
Forgotten media.
There we go.
Well, I mean, I still have the video file. Right? I just don't want to re-upload them again, and mostly because there's a lot of things that are very outdated.
Oh, well, I'm sure Luke still appreciates her up. He's proud of his work.
And maybe that's probably the reason why I kept giving Chaos Theories up. Is okay, Luke was boarding it, so maybe that's why, just for Luke's sake. Because, yeah, there weren't that many episodes for it. And the only one that I'm proud of was the Infinite episode, where I feel like, okay, I talk about, things of, like, why Infinite doesn't work, why he was, like, missed potential. And, everything else I did, like, Team Sonic Racing versus Nitro Fueled and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, shit. Infinite, only good one. But that's just me.
Infinitely better than everything else.
Ha ha ha.
Infinitely perfect in any way.
So, Ewan, what else do we need to talk about? Tell us. Do we have
Yeah,
other
you said
Sonic
much
news?
tonight, so-
Yeah, it's your spotlight stream.
My spotlight stream?
Well, I mean,
I've been
Luke's not
given
here,
something
so...
like that.
Yes.
So basically, as per usual, whenever Luke's away, it comes to me to fill the gap.
Well, we can use Luke to fill the gap and play his YouTube poop, I suppose.
Well, we could do. Gives you a little
Uh.
breather, and of course, gives some people watching a little, like, you know, we stimulate their minds and attention by this amazing piece of work that Luke has given us.
Showing them actually something visually interesting instead of my crappy drawings. Absolutely.
So,
I guess so, because, yeah, like, I didn't notice intro until right when I got into the stream. It's like, oh, there's a video, what?
Yeah, Luke asked me to keep it a secret until now, because he doesn't want. He wants
That's
you to
good.
surprise you. So I deliberately only uploaded it at the last moment. That was
much
the.
like how I do it.
That's the very point. So yeah, you guys ready?
Yep.
Oh,
I'm ready.
yep.
All right, then let's see if I'm ready. I think I am.
I haven't.
Yes. All right. Okay. Countdown. A3, A2, A1, and go. Luke's poop.
I haven't felt this good since I invented the exploding blueprints.
Roger, Roger.
You're expecting someone else?
That is my life! I'll kill you! Ah!
It all began many years ago when I became dictator of tomorrow. When I hate tomorrow. When I fart in your cake. Come the monitors! Come the monitors! Monitors! Come the monitors! Well!
It's a big old bumblebee.
You like jazz? You like jazz? You like jazz?
He just flew over to the chair.
You like jazz?
Over there.
You like jazz? You like jazz?
You like jazz? You like jazz?
Marmalade sandwiches. Marmalade sandwiches.
Now this
Just a
sexy
little
show.
technical problem.
Joke especially for Slinky.
Incredible.
Yeah, I see Luca's experimenting with YTPMVs there.
Yep. So
Maybe
thanks,
one day
Luke.
I should do the thing.
Yeah, sure. You're always welcome. You can even do a double one. It's always fun to have extras.
Yeah.
Linda in the chat says, I hated those cliff racers. And
Yeah, sorry the audio was too loud again. I put it on slower halfway through. I keep forgetting about
she
it.
doesn't say it's loud. She was just saying, like, she hated those cliff racers tomorrow, and she didn't say the audio was loud.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah. Just whatever those things were, because, yeah, I never played Morrowind.
But yeah, I love Luke's animation with the bats like awkwardly flapping up and down. That was fun.
Yeah. And, of course, him keeping the ball rolling. That's my joke! Gag.
For this time with the Sixth Doctor.
Yeah.
Funny how that comes around.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I saw a comment with Rhino. Oh, what parts of the franchise does Melty-Man even like or even follow these days? Well, I think I've mentioned before that, you know, Movie Sonic's kind of more of my main go-to in terms of official content. Yeah, guess I'm kind of still with IDW Sonic, even though it's still poor to get through. I guess my reason is just, well, I failed to collect every Archie Sonic during its prime, and I don't want to repeat the same mistake for IDW Sonic. As for the games, I guess I'm a little more nicer, like, not more like, bitter, you damn classic Sonic fans, you know, you damn Nazis and like, nah, I don't do that no more. So I'm a little more nicer to, you know, classic Sonic and all that stuff. With, Crossworld's like, sure, it's interesting, but not putting too high hopes for it, because, you know, the stuff that I want is clearly not gonna happen, because, you know, Archie Sonic or Sadie M or any of the other official Sonic media that Sega likes to pretend never happened, because it's quote-unquote off-brand, or whatever.
Yep. Oh well.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of like with Roger. I guess I was just too, reading most of Archie Sonic during its prime. Oh yeah, cool, awesome stories and character arcs and all this stuff that you couldn't do in the games. Really pushing the envelope on certain deals. And I'm just not really seeing that with IDW Sonic. Like, it did at first with the Metal Virus arc, but then again, that was a scrapped idea for Archie Sonic. So I guess Ian Flynn really wanted to really do that. But yeah, after that, the series just kind of went into a bit of a slump where it's just, a bit too safe for my taste.
I still haven't checked it anymore ever since we stopped watching it here. I guess I should take a look. But yeah, not good news then.
Yeah, the series has been around for quite a while now. So yeah, we got a lot of catching up to do. Sorry to go back to IDW Sonic.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
We were so far away from finishing Sonic X. Or Fleetway for that matter.
Yeah, because I mean, right now we're slowly reaching the finish line with the Sonic X comics, and then after that, it's like, well, we pretty much have, I guess, 4 options. Go back to Fleetway Sonic, go back to IDW Sonic, start Archie Sonic, but do it in parts, for our sanities, or just do something more miscellaneous, like we did like the Sonic Golden bookstore for like a Valentine's thing. So like, okay, maybe that's an idea. We could do the rest since they're very short. Yeah.
All right. We'll see.
Or hey, maybe bring back Sonic Dash and Spin, because it's been quite a while to cover that.
Oh, we weren't finished with those yet?
No, we've only covered like a bunch of random stories that were kind of just appropriate for certain themes, like, oh, April Fool's Street, we did an April Fool's story. Oh, and there's a summer theme, so we did a summer theme. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look back on how many we've already covered, because it's been quite a while since we've tackled that manga series.
Can be challenging, yeah. Alright. Alrighty.
And now for a random little trivia.
Oh boy.
Trivia.
Well, small trivia. Apparently, on the CDI player device, CDI games, there's a Titanic game on it called Titanic, an interactive exploration, which is narrated by none other than Patrick Stewart. Wow.
Oh.
That's what I learned. That's what I learned on Monday. So.
Almost spit my water from that
Why?
Reveal.
Why?
Look, I didn't expect Patrick Stewart to be like.
Yeah, me neither. Wait, I'll share it in the live chat. So. Because a friend of mine bought the game when he was in Amsterdam.
Yeah, now I'm just like, oh, I thought it was weird to hear Patrick Stewart voicing the poop emoji in the Emoji Movie. Well, you ain't seen nothing.
Oh, he likes that kind of thing. He wanted to be in the Beavis and Butthead movie as well, so he has a bit of a crude sense of humor.
But yeah, I shared the picture in the chat.
Alright.
There it is. Yeah, that cover, definitely reminds me of some other CDI covers. Like the fan classic Flowers of Robert Mapplethorpe.
Yeah, angry video game nerds, big punchline.
I think he actually did do like a proper playthrough or first experience. I think it was part of the whole James and Mike Monday series.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Makes sense, I guess.
Oh, yeah, now it's being shown on stream, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very briefly, yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to put it like leveling up with water as if the Titanic was in that water, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was quite amazed. It was at that game store in Amsterdam called Game Over, and he asked the person behind the counter, like, "Oh, do you have any CDI games?" And then the guy came over with a full crate of them. So like, here you go. So he was like looking through it and everything, because he does have a CDI player himself, so he can play the games. So that's pretty neat.
It's kind of funny. I never had one. Still, I'm very nostalgic for it because really reminds me of Windows 95 style games from the day. All these wacky educational things. We were super excited to having animations in them. Whoa, check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a CDI back in my youth or whatnot. I actually did play a CDI at a gaming convention, and they had like Hotel Mario on. There's like, oh, we'll, like play Hotel Mario for the first time.
Funny story.
So
So
I
did I, but I had it in a hospital. I'm not sure why. Kids make it even
Hotel
worse.
Mario in a hospital?
Make them even more unhealthy. Yeah. Yeah, I was in a hospital to check on my blood level for a couple of days, and then I could play CDI, I guess, in a waiting room.
Well, it
Okay.
makes sense because Philips is a Dutch company, so it makes sense that Dutch hospitals would have had the CDI player. So,
Yeah, okay, now this raises the question: was that like something recent, or was that like long?
Oh
ago?
no, that was long ago. It was 1995. so.
Okay, now, if,
Not
they had a
recent, though.
if they had a CDI in today's culture, I'm like, oh damn, that's like an old hospital.
no, these days they got like a different device for like playing games on it. So,
Ah,
at children's hospitals actually. Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but it was like this wagon where there's like a TV screen on it, some console with it, and it was like the majority of those devices got like got happened because of a charity event done by the Hermitcraft server. So that's how I know of it. But it's pretty neat. Like in America, there's lots of them. In Europe, there's some have popped up and such. Like really cool. Just can carry around that wagon on. There's like wheels underneath it and everything. Even doctors, like in their spare time, like during the night, they stop playing on it. Apparently, it's just a random little fact I read. So yeah, bit of a ramble. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like out of the Zelda CDI games, I feel like I really experience. I think the one that comes to my mind is Zelda Adventures, because you know, like everyone knows about Juan and Gamelon. Book of Cordai, because you know all those cartoon cutscenes and YouTube poop material. But for some reason, like Zelda Adventures seems like that's like the one game that tends to fall through the cracks when compared to the others.
Not funny enough.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I mean, there is bad voice acting, I guess, but I guess the realistic styled sprites was just too much for people to handle, or maybe I don't know.
I mean, at least Luke tried to make some attempt at doing a YTP from Zelda's Adventures, but although he never really got that far with it, it was just like Link just saying, "Gee, it sure is boring around here," as the sun just in the background just glitches out. And then right at the very end, where the old guy's like, "There'll be no more shipping tonight." Shipping what? Shipping who?
Yeah, funny enough, the first time I actually heard about the Zelda CDI games, Cinematech, it was oh geez, that was like a show from like the 2000s on, back when G4 used to be a thing. But they used to do like these like list of shows, like like you know best video games or like upcoming video games, and that was how I found out about Oogie's Revenge, and I was like super hyped for it back then. And then they did an episode talking about like worst video games of all time, and they had the CDI Zelda games, and they mostly just played like the opening cutscenes to those.
Of course.
I still find it silly that the CDI Zelda games actually got a Dutch dub, and that's the only time that happened that a Zelda game got a Dutch dub. So, but at least they're like familiar voice actors in it. So, yeah, I guess.
Huh.
Because
But
other
so-
Zelda.
I'm assuming not memeable enough.
A bit tricky because it's Dutch. So.
I believe I had talked about this on our Goat Simulator stream recently, Sylvia, but the actor who played all Mario, Luigi, and Bowser in Hotel Mario did like a redub of the Hotel Mario intro, made the characters speak profanity.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, like look at this fucking shit, Luigi. Yeah.
I was actually surprised to find out that those are not his only credited roles.
Oh.
Hold on. I know he. I actually know him from one other game. Yeah, Mark Grau. Anyways, he voices Zerky in Ratchet and Clank. Mr. Zircon from the Ratchet and Clank series, and he was Nick Fury in Spider-Man Friend or Foe. He was in Avatar: The Last Airbender
Wow.
Oh.
as some minor character. And I am just now finding out he voices quite a few skins in Smite. And he's Surtur in Smite. He's just not even a skin. He's straight up Surtur in Smite. That's cool.
Hmm.
Okay.
I think you're the only one here who has played Smite, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, like, I'm just now finding this out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. In fact, I remember last night, someone said, I saw a tweet that said, oh, same voice actor. And it had a picture of Coco Bandicoot and this smiling rainbow that was like from FNAF World. And I'm like, wait, Debbie Derryberry was in a FNAF game? And then I looked it up, it's like, oh shit, she was. Yeah. It's kind of sad. The only roles I know, she's done voice work over the years, but the most I remember her is like Coco Bandicoot for a while, and of course Jimmy Neutron, and oh yeah, then she was Clara, or that one gal from oh god, the Nuttiest Nutcracker. Jeez, that's a film. It's regrettably one of those films I remember watching a lot as a kid. It's like, oh, this is fun, and then when you get older, it's like, man, this is shit.
Oh, weird. Looking at her BTVA page, she was Tawna in the Insane Trilogy, but not in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
Yeah, I guess makes sense, because Tawna didn't really have any like actual speaking lines. It was just kind of like grunts.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's lame.
But still, still, I do like her voice in Nitro Fuel. I definitely, I mean, kind of might be unfair to say given the fact that she's never had a voice before, but it's like, still, I imagine that's like the kind of voice I would imagine Tawna would have.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Who voiced her in Crash 5? Or Crash 4? Ursula Tahirian.
Gesundheit.
She's not got a lot of credits to her name.
Oh yeah, speaking of Crash 4, the one thing that really surprised me was that the voice actor for Dr. Entropy, which is sadly it's not Corey Burton coming back, it's someone else. But yeah, the guy who voiced Entropy in Crash 4 is, hold on, I'm on the page, J.P. Karlyak. And surprisingly, one of his voice credits is being the voice of Willy Wonka from Tom and Jerry Meet Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And after I found that out, I did like this quick rush job of like a pic of like, the smiling Wonka meme, but just like have that face, but have it like dressed up like Entropy. So it's Entropy doing the Wonka face. Jeez, now I gotta find that. It's down old. It's buried somewhere on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually looking at the cast of Crash 4 right now, and it's weird they brought back Lex Lang as Neo Cortex and Greg Eagles as Aku Aku, but none of the other actors reprise their roles. Like, not even Crash is voiced by, Just Harnell anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird, yeah. I mean, like, still, I'm fine with, like, most of the new voice they went with, because, oh wait, no, Corey Burton still voices, Entropy in that game.
No.
Oh, it might have been. I know Embryo's voiced, because he's surprisingly voiced by Sonic.
Yeah, Embryo is voiced by Roger Craig Smith in that game.
Yeah, that really took me off, because, like, wait, is that, Brain's voice actor? But then I'm, like, trying to listen back to it, and then I looked up the details, like, oh no, it's a different voice. It's just surprisingly Roger Craig Smith doing a very surprisingly good job in sounding like the previous actor.
Yeah, Maurice LaMarche.
Yeah, Maurice LaMarche, that's it.
Yeah, in Crash 4, Entropy is voiced by John Paul Karlyak.
Alright, that's how you pronounce it, yeah.
Who also
Yeah, who voiced Wonka?
was Gargamel in the new Smurfs movie.
Oh, the newest one?
There's
Yeah.
a new one? What?
Huh.
Yeah, the one with influencer Smurf that everyone memed.
Yeah, and then they apparently removed him or something.
Good.
Got Rihanna as Smurfette. Oh, and John Goodman as Papa Smurf? Okay, now I'm interested. I freaking love John Goodman. Oh.
Yeah, I just remember the trailer. It's like, oh yeah, Smurfs having a good time, and then oh, they're suddenly teleported away, and then they end up in real life New York. It's like, oh, so they're recycling the live action film.
Oh boy.
I'll watch anything with John Goodman except Arachnophobia because I have arachnophobia.
There we go.
How fitting.
Yeah, I think the first time I heard of John Goodman was when he voiced Frosty the Snowman in Frosty Returns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mostly know Miss Pacha from The Emperor's New Groove, of course.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Disney Group,
yeah.
Pacha. And then of course Sully in Monsters Inc. Yeah.
Of course.
He also played. I think he also played Fred Flintstone in that real life movie.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah,
He sure
Fred
did.
Flintstone.
The one with Rick Moranis as Barney.
Yeah.
Do you know that's one of Halle Berry's favorite movies that she's been in?
Okay.
Huh.
Because she played a character named Sharon Stone, and that character was written for the actress Sharon Stone. Because, you know, rock puns.
Yeah.
But Sharon was too busy to take the role, so they offered it to Halle Berry, and she finds that special because she got to play a character that was written for not a black woman, but for just a woman in general, and she feels that's very nice.
I guess so. That's one way to look at it. Sure.
Yeah, and apparently he also voiced Santa Claus in an episode of SpongeBob.
Santa Claus was in SpongeBob. Okay.
Yeah, a few times, but yeah, there was like a stop motion special they did. It's a SpongeBob Christmas. Yeah, that's it. And he voiced Santa in that one.
Alrighty.
He was in one of the Transformers movies, or a couple of them apparently.
Huh.
Yeah, what? You didn't mention that? How dare you?
How
Yes,
dare
I'm lucky enough to actually have a Transformer that somewhat resembles John Goodman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
because he basically is the Transformer called Hound.
Yeah.
So as a result,
He looks cool.
He's got the massive sort of like beard made out of wiring. So
What does he transform into?
It kind of varies. It's mostly like a army sort of like troop carrier in the fourth film. Well, this is the first one he was in, and in the second one he just turned into some sort of like a medical sort of vehicle that had like a hidden sort of like missile rack on the back. So it's like shooting out like first aid to all to his enemies.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at John Goodman's voice acting history. He was the rich guy from Princess and the Frog.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
he was the lawyer in the B movie.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
Oh, yeah,
animated
he
roles. Huh.
Yeah, and he also played Baloo in Jungle Book 2.
Yeah, that was weird. I was so used to hearing the original voice of Baloo, and like by this point I was like well aware of who John Goodman was. So when I watch Jungle Book 2, I'm like, oh my god, that is just John Goodman.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. It's like Baloo is just one of those characters that has a distinct voice, and yet whenever they get some, just them doing their own voice. So it's John Goodman, John Goodman, and then you have the live-action remake where it's just crap. What's his name?
Hey, it still counts even
The
if
guy
I
from
bugged it out.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Ever since he played Fred Flintstone, they decided he was a cartoon. And had to hire him for all the cartoons.
Bill Murray, yeah.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Yeah, in like the live-action film, he Baloo, and it was just Bill Murray being Bill Murray.
Just like Garfield.
Yeah. Apparently John Goodman voiced Santa twice. Like the other time was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie. It's like that direct-to-video film.
3 times.
Oh, 3?
He once voiced Robot Santa Claus on Futurama.
Oh, that I did not know.
He's sure as popular as a Santa.
I didn't.
Well, with that beard,
Honestly-
I'm really surprised.
Who wouldn't cast John Goodman as Santa Claus? He's such an incredible actor.
Yeah,
Honestly,
he has
he's
the voice. Yeah.
he's low key one of the best actors in Hollywood. I'm shocked that he does not have like any Oscars. Like, forget Leonardo DiCaprio, he's got one now. Why does John Goodman not have an Oscar?
Yeah, or why doesn't he have his own, spot in the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Exactly.
Now I'm just imagining him. Now that's just like a meme from the Flintstones, where basically he's literally towering over like representatives of the Oscars. It's like, I think it's time for you and me to have some interface, and he just like starts slapping his fist to his hand. So it's like, oh, I'm ready to punch the shit out of you if you don't give me an Oscar. That sort of smiley look to his face, like, oh, I will do it, I really will.
He was also the original voice of the Yellow M&M.
Oh, that too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's surprising. Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Well, that's kind of funny. We were talking about Billy West, and who is pretty much the voice of Red M&M. Apparently, John Goodman voiced the Yellow M&M for a while.
Yeah. Apparently, he was the original voice, but the Yellow M&M is now voiced by J.K. Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm more
Who's
familiar
just
Perfect.
yeah, I'm more familiar with the J.K. Simmons.
Of course.
J.K. Simmons is one of those actors that you're just shocked is in so many things.
Yeah. Because I think the first time I heard of J.K. Simmons was probably the Portal series when he voiced Cave Johnson.
Well, my introduction to him was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy.
Of course.
Ah.
And then he came back for the MCU to reprise that role. That's pretty cool. That is, I think he's the only actor who did that, where he was a character in a Marvel movie that predates the MCU, who then came back to be that character in the MCU.
If you don't count the Hulk movie, yeah, I guess so.
No, even then. Well, no, I guess.
Plus, Patrick Stewart did show up as Professor X in an alternative version of him, so I guess
Yeah.
it's also...
Yeah.
And then there's that...
Well,
yeah.
So far, Professor X has only been like a brief cameo in Multiverse of Madness.
True, and there's also Torch from Fantastic Four that made a cameo in Deadpool 3, so there are a couple examples. But yeah, they're all minor cameos,
I guess
yeah.
the first real example, other than J.K. Simmons' J. Jonah Jameson, is Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Oh, right.
Because he showed up in the post-credit scene for the Marvels, and is confirmed to be showing up in Avengers Doomsday, along with several other actors from X-Men, including our boy James Marsden.
Ooh, Tom's back.
Tom Wachowski is back as Cyclops.
Oh boy.
And Ben Schwartz will never hear the end of it.
We know who he finds the least insufferable blue creature to deal with, yeah.
Yeah. Man, like, speaking of Tom Wachowski, that was like another thing. Oh, he's in this film, and that was it was My Little Pony: A New Generation, where he was the original voice of Hitch.
Yep, the sheriff.
Yep.
How fitting.
Yep. Boy, first Sonic movie, and then Pony Sheriff. No, it was only the movie. He was voiced by someone else throughout the G5's time.
Still a weird idea, yeah. But there you go. The man, the legend. Crazy how it can go sometimes. Right. Anything else we need to talk about? Was there any other Sonic news?
Well, there's new stuff from Cross Worlds, I guess. Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, I think we only briefly mentioned it last time. Right?
Yeah, because there wasn't really anything else to mention, really. So.
Oh yeah, well I know there's been like maybe a few more updates, like oh yeah, like the rival talks, like that. There've been people have been going on about that.
Oh,
Right, yeah.
Creed
Anyone
versus
excited
Shadow.
about that?
Yeah.
Alright.
For a lot of reasons. First off, Izuka specified that there is unique dialogue for any possible combination of two characters other than guest characters.
Yeah, deals no interactions with the characters. Yeah.
No SpongeBob versus Shadow, sadly.
No.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate. I hope that means that doesn't mean that Miku Hatsune is considered a guest character, because everyone wants to hear the interaction between Miku Hatsune and Storm the Albatross.
Oh yeah, because of the memes. Yeah.
Because of the Hatsune Miku.
I'd be more surprised if the DLC characters have no dialogue at all. Like with the Minecraft characters, I can get because you know they never had any voices. But with like Hatsune Miku and maybe SpongeBob, if that's still gonna be a thing, then yeah, if they're suddenly mute, then like that's gonna be really jarring.
Especially
It's
SpongeBob is suddenly being quiet.
Yeah, it's like in Lego Dimensions where they had like three, like they had Simpsons characters like Homer and Krusty and Bart. They're all playable, and yet for some reason Bart is the mute one.
Yeah, they had weird voice acting copyright trouble. Yeah, it was really stupid. I know.
Yeah.
Oh well. What you gonna do about
But
it?
yeah, who knows? I know people are already going crazy about the Shadow and Cream interactions. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it, because like I think they expertly proved how it works by when they said like any two characters will interact, and they proved it by having Zaz and Jet of all people having a conversation, which is so random.
Yeah.
But like that was the perfect way to emphasize like, yeah, any two characters.
And now we're just desperately hoping for Marine to show up, just so can Shadow Marine get there after a reenaction of the famous RC comic.
I've seen too many jokes already of. There's some other kart racer game where you can drive a coffin.
Yeah, I've already been seeing people saying like, "Oh, why does?"
You got cut off, Melty.
Yeah, I was saying that I've already been seeing people saying like, "Oh, Zaz sounds really different," and my reaction is just more, "I really give a shit about Zaz, so I don't care."
He does sound very different. That is not Liam O'Brien.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, and Jet's still voiced by the free rider, and I'm just like, "Come
Michael
back,
Yurchak.
Chrissy Griffin, come back!"
Yes. If nothing else, voice Jet again.
Yeah. Or voice Werehog Sonic again, you know?
Please, by all means. I'm kind of not looking forward to hearing Roger Craig Smith's Werehog.
Terrified.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure he's gonna get some unique reactions from the characters. Like, oh, Sonic. Maybe they'll like recycle a dialogue from Sonic Unleashed with, Robotnik and Eggman, and they just recreate that line from, the intro cutscene. Ah, Sonic, that's a good look for you. Festive.
You've really gone and done it this time, Eggman. Yeah.
Would be funny if. Yeah, go ahead.
Say, I mean, I was just wondering, like, will there be duplicate like rivalries? So one Sonic talking to another Sonic, or like
Oh, yeah.
Eggman talking to another Eggman, where Eggman would just, rather than insult each other, they'll just compliment each other by how handsome they both look.
Or just like recycle audio from generations. Yeah, oh, most generous Eggman of the past. It will be my pleasure. Yeah.
Or Shadow talking with Shadow, like each other a faker.
Yeah. Well, I know they actually did that in Lego Dimensions, where if you had like, if both players were Sonic, then they would just recycle lines from Sonic Adventure 2. I found you, faker. I'll make you eat those words. Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun, yeah. I love those Easter eggs. Also love that Lego Dimensions implies that Shadow desperately wanted to buy Kit from Knight Rider because it's the same colors, just for that reason.
Wait, Shadow wanted to buy Kit? Where'd that interaction come from?
Oh, if you play as Sonic and you jump into the Knight Rider card, and the Knight Rider card will say it. Hi, Sonic, your friend Shadow tried to buy me. That's not a cutscene, no.
Okay, I can't remember if I've experienced that or just forgot about it.
It's just a voice line. So.
I know in the hub world they've referenced the freaking Sonic meme.
Of course.
Yeah, although it's kind of a bit hidden because it only triggers after you completed a big mission in the hub world, and if you like stick around for a while, then they'll say, "Oh, I caught some. Oh, wait, that's my phone. Oh, it's a call from Sonic. Who's that?"
Just subtle then. Yeah, that's nice.
I'm wondering if there'll be what kind of rival dialogue Metal Sonic will have, because like Metal Sonic himself doesn't talk.
Well, it doesn't talk anymore, but yeah.
Well, only when he's Neo Metal Sonic.
Yeah, I guess his reactions will just be bleeps and bloops constantly.
Like it's a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bleep,
But-
bloop, blop, blop, blarp, robot noises.
But I am interested to hear what a rival dialogue between him and Sage could be.
Yeah.
They're both competing for Daddy's affection.
I think it would be
Sa-
funny, like, if Sage is like, she's saying something to Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic doesn't say anything, but she's like, yeah, probably right. Like, she can communicate with Metal Sonic, but he doesn't say actually anything, but she's replying to him anyway.
Oh my god, like I like that idea where Metal Sonic just makes his noise and she just says something like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point," and you never find out what they were
Exactly,
talking
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I
like that.
Well, either that or Metal Sonic would do the.
I can imagine if it was like Eggman and Sage talking. I don't know. Maybe Eggman would say something like, "Oh, don't forget to wear your seatbelt." You know, being a dad, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just had an epiphany.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
This game has both Blaze the Cat and E123 Omega.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Bring back the Archie Sonic ship. Yeah.
bring it back! Fingers crossed. Oh my god.
It won't happen probably, but
It won't, but oh, please.
Just one line. One
Yeah.
reference, that's all.
just one flirt. Yeah. You know, just one. I like you. Let us burn things together.
Let us burn things together. And I also, just in general, want to hear Sage interacting with more characters. I don't think we've made it a secret that I fucking love Sage and I want more of her. She is the best character introduced to the series in like 12 years.
Yeah, it's a shame. For Frontiers didn't give him much of an opportunity to do anything interesting.
Yeah.
Just be mysterious.
Roger, sorry to say, I'm just looking at the stream, but you've mixed up two colors with the tail. The one line that you've called light is supposed to be dark.
Oh yeah, it's like a solid color. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coloring as well, so I noticed. Like, wait, that tail's not correct. Like, it's like white first, where it like rises at the back, and then the next line is going to be dark. But Roger did it the other way.
Yeah, it's like. basically
I'm sorry,
referring to
Roger. I'm
the end
sorry.
of the kid.
I'm trying to make your work amazing, but yeah.
Yeah.
I goofed up with the other ones as well. Oof. Sorry to see that, Roger.
Well, that's something he'll be doing for the rest of the night.
Well, I
Thanks,
guess-
Sylvia.
Yeah. Well, I guess to be fair, with how Tangle has very stretchy tail, who knows how long it goes? Then yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
that is true. That is true. But it's just me being like, Roger, the coloring.
The stripes are probably interchangeable,
Yeah.
It's like a.
unlike
it's like
on my
a-
tail.
Oh, it's like a zebra. Our zebras white with black, or are they black with white? Sort of situation. I know there are theories out there, but let's just not get into it. Roger, by the way, you want to continue with the stream, by the way?
If people have enough to say, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, alright.
I mean, after all, Roger's got to correct that tale anyway, otherwise he'll start complaints. When, oh when, will Roger wake up and realise that the end of the tip is dark?
Well, I mean, since we've been talking about the rival talks in Crossworlds, I guess we could briefly talk about Amy, because there's been a lot of drama going on with that.
That she's being too motherly or something.
Yeah, that's the buzzword I've been hearing a lot. That she's, too mom with like her dialogue or something.
Yeah, they're on late. Amy has had her lobotomy since 2010 or so, 2011. But nice they finally caught on to that.
Yeah. In some ways, I still just find it kind of quite surreal, because, back in the 2000s, we were always ranting about, oh, Amy, just constantly stalking and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And nowadays, it's the exact opposite. Now they want Amy to go back to heaven, like, at least a more aggressive side, I guess.
Because they don't like the new Amy, I guess. They prefer going back to the old.
But it's typical Sonic team. Like, there's a problem that needs some nuance fixing, and instead they just throw it in the trash. Like, okay, Amy's a little too much, so let's just eliminate her entire personality until she's just an empty slab of nothingness. So that's the problem. Like, it needed a little fine-tuning, but instead she's just an empty nothing now.
Yeah.
She's just girly says girly things.
Yeah, poor Amy. Definitely one of the characters that got hit the hardest with all the, flopping back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm long since past caring. I just wish they gave her like a consistent personality at this point. But yeah, she's really boring. Let's see what the movies do. Probably not much either.
Yeah, well, I guess it could go in two ways. Like, either it goes for, like, an Amy that's, or, like, I guess 2000s Amy, being, like, independent and having some aggressive edge, but, having interest with Sonic but not being too stalkish and whatnot. But then, of course, there's also the other possibility where she's just generic girl boss, because Hollywood's just really addicted to that trope.
Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, my only hope...
Yeah.
Yeah, my only hope is that Amy is voiced by, oh crap, what's her name? The original voice of Izzy Moonbow. Because I can imagine that voice for Amy. Yeah.
And probably one more celebrities.
Yeah.
Who's the one who did Smurfette again? Bionese or something? Bionese?
Oh, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rihanna. Yeah,
Probably
it's
something
probably
like
her, or Scarlett Johansson.
There you go. Probably gonna be a celebrity.
Yeah, I mean, like, Scarlett Johansson voicing movie reviews, I can kind of see that, but with Amy, no.
Kimiko Glenn, that was...
yeah, Kimiko Glenn, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people animate some of Izzy's dialogue over Amy. She would be fantastic as movie Amy.
Yeah, I guess that voice just really fits, at least this look of the character, yeah. Kind of has, like, a throwback to, like, the Sonic X era kind of voice, in some ways.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's good.
But now that I'm thinking about it, like, we talked about, like, how we see movie Amy. And now I'm kind of curious, what is, like, how Amy Rose has gone through different voices in the game. So I'm kind of wondering, what's our definitive Amy voice? Like, what's the one we prefer the most?
Lisa Ortiz.
Oh yeah, the Sonic X one. Like, yeah, I'm kind of in that camp too.
That's a tough question.
Yeah. I feel bad for Jennifer Douillard. I don't know how her last name is pronounced.
Gouliard.
Yeah, because she was not an actress at all. She didn't want to be. She was like a secretary who worked at a building that John St. John worked at, and so he suggested her for the role of Amy, and so she ended up getting the role, and she had fun with that, but she was not cut out for acting, and so she gave that up. And honestly, it kind of showed because Amy's voice in the adventure games was one of the weakest acting wise. She sounded a lot better in Heroes, but that's just because Heroes had much better direction.
I mean, then again, Sonic games have always been cursed of having bad voice directing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we got the current Amy, which, I don't know, like, in their first couple of games, I really didn't like her portrayal of Amy,
Yeah.
mostly because it just sounded way too much like Minnie Mouse. And that's kind of what I always joked about, is like, oh yeah, it's Minnie Mouse, and I get to beat the shit out of her and transform, hoo-hoo! But, but, I don't know, I think as the years went on, I guess, geez, I'm trying to remember, I think maybe in later games she started to sound slightly better. It's like, okay, you know, the tone is there, it's just, you know, the personality is just not quite there, because, you know, it's Sega overcorrecting.
Yeah, I agree. She absolutely sounded way too much like Minnie Mouse when she first showed up, and now now she's a lot better. I think I've gotten used to her. She sounds great. I still prefer Lisa Ortiz, but I'm fine with Cindy Robinson now. And then there was Shannon Chan Kent in Sonic Prime. She did really good.
Oh yeah, that was surprising.
I wonder if she's going to be voicing Rusty Rose in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, or if they'll just have Cindy Robinson to take over that role.
Good
question.
question.
Yeah, guess we'll have to wait and see on that.
Still can't believe Prime is getting more advertising than Boom.
Yeah, that still baffles me, because, like, knowing Sega, like, once a Sonic side, like, the side of Sonic dies out, like, you know, like, what happened with Sonic Boom, like, it was around for a while, and then when the show ended, they're like, alright, we're pulling the plug, no more Sonic Boom references. I guess, minus Frontiers, but I guess Ian Flynn somehow got lucky until Sega decided to heel turn on that. But yeah, but like usually what happens is that a side of Sonic, it goes through, and then when it ends, it stays dead, like nothing happens. And you know that's what happened with Sonic Frontier, and you'd think that would happen with Sonic Prime. You know the show's over, they're not making any more episodes, and yet somehow Sega is still insistent about keeping it relevant because you know they slapped the whole quote-unquote canon, despite the show contradicting a lot of things that the game canon has.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just so baffling. Like, out of all the Sonic stuff that's happened, why the hell is Sonic Prime this one sole exception?
Probably because Sonic Team had more of an impact on it. And maybe the game was already in development while the show was still ongoing, I guess. I mean, game development is a lot slower these days. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not super thrilled. Maybe it's just because it's cheap. Like, oh, we can just reuse the Sonic models, just give them a different head. Voila, brand new character.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Easy content.
Yeah. I mean, you'd think there would be like some kind of like Sonic Prime comics, but it's like, no, not really. I mean, technically there is, but it's more of that visual novel kind of deal. It's just, oh, let's just, you know, just adaptations of the episodes, but all they do is just, you know, recycle screenshots from the episodes and call it a day, you know, those kind of books.
You can't really explore Sonic Prime. It doesn't have a world. Like ID for like Sonic CTM or Sonic Boom and all. They have a whole world with their own characters and their own locations and places. You can really explore it. But Sonic Prime is just here's Green Hill and Sonic and Friends, except alternative. It's like it's not interesting to spend any time there. It's just.
But I mean, I guess for like a proper Sonic Prime comic series, like you'd think that would get some kind of, just because, you know, like maybe explore more multiverse concept, because, you know, that's always comics bread and butter with that whole deal. But no, I never bothered doing that in the show. It's just 3 locations, and yeah, they really don't go that far with it. Because, like, my interpretation of the different versions was that after the prism was shattered, it also separated the characters into, like, different character traits. So, like you know, Knuckles' like pridefulness is separated into like Captain Dread or something, and then another side of him is like the jungle guy and whatnot. And when all the versions are fused together, then it reforms, you know, the main Knuckles. And that was always something I'd hoped the show did, but no, they never did that. It was just, oh, it's there, and oh, we'll disappear when the prism forms. Like, yeah, well, sucks to be you. Bye.
A lot of missed opportunities, yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, talking about flip-flopping, like, yeah, that's pretty much that, what happened with the Sonic shit.
Such a shame. I love the animation, the action, but man.
Yeah, it's weird. We went from Family Guy animation budget with Sonic Boom to having more fluent animation in Sonic Prime, but at the cost of having, like, an actual good story. Now it's just a show that's constantly stuck on repeat or just really dragging out details.
It's just a 5-minute action scene stretched out over 3 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, look forward to our Sonic Prime marathon in whenever that happens.
Oh no! I don't think I can handle watching that show.
Well, we still have plenty of episodes of Adventures of Sonic through, so it's still gonna be a
Yep.
Fair enough.
And then I guess we could do Sonic Set again.
Yeah, because that's also kind of a short show.
26 episodes.
I imagine doing Sonic Prime, if we covered it like we do other Sonic cartoons, would be really quick. Alright, here's the synopsis. Sonic is stupid for a while, and he loses the shard, and yeah, in the next episode...
Synopsis gotta be very short, yeah.
It's gonna be like a 3-part series. Like, oh, today we're gonna make Season 1, and then, oh, Season 2, and Season 3, and nothing of value was lost. The end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Season
like it was
3.
supposed to be-
Sonic yells at 9, tells him this isn't him. 9
And, yeah,
calls Sonic an idiot for not
Yeah.
thinking about his feelings.
Yeah, and then they fight and fight. Yeah, that's Season 3 in a nutshell. Oh, fight, 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 Sonic and 9 yelled, fight, 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 Sonic and 9 yelled, rinse and repeat. God, Season 3 was, it really was a chore to try and get through that, because, yeah, out of all the episodes and seasons, yeah, that was the one that really felt like it was stuck on repeat.
That to me is the worst part. Like Sonic Season 2 broke me, and then everyone keeps saying that's the best part. It just gets worse. I was like, oh god, the worst part, the best part broke me.
Yeah, I guess they liked it just because of the big final, big giant super form versus giant Robotnik. I guess that's the only thing they like.
I don't really care about that sort of like toys bashing into each other kind of storytelling, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, Season 1 started, like, okay. It's like, okay, it's interesting enough. But then when Season 2 started, then you really started to see the cracks showing up.
Yeah, Season 1, you're still kind of looking out for where it's going. It's like, okay, I could still go there, and this is kind of interesting, this is kind of interesting. By Season 2, you know exactly what it's about, and then it's just waiting for it to end. It's like, okay, I know exactly where this is going. I can see all the plot twists coming a mile away. It's like, oh boy, just get there already.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not even that much like downtime with like Sonic interacting with the other versions. Like, oh, like maybe chat up with like the jungle people or the pirate people. Well, I guess the pirate people kind of had that whole party scene, but we don't really get that with the other characters.
Yeah, that's the worst part. That's why I hate modern Netflix shows. Like, there's no downtime. There's no sense of episodes. Like, it's just like one story that keeps going, and it just gets so exhausting. I have that with a Marvel series as well. It's like, well, why is there no Marvel series that's just episodic? There's just Captain America having adventures. Like, it doesn't have to be a big story. It doesn't have to go somewhere. Just let us breathe in this world and see what's going on. But no, they just have a story and they keep just going on, and you're like, so exhausting.
Well, at least there's Cuphead.
I guess so. That's more episodic indeed. That's just a bunch of wacky
Cuphead's
cartoons.
a lot more. Yeah, like there's still the whole theme about the devil's trying to take Cuphead's soul and whatnot, but there's still like enough episodes where it's just Cuphead and Mugman go on wacky adventures doing all this kind of stuff, and it even focused on other characters. Like they did a Christmas themed one that just focuses on the devil, who's like doesn't care about Christmas, but then he sees like a toy shop and like, oh my god, this train is so cool, I want it. And yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say all Netflix shows or that, but it's Netflix that started this new trend that shows are just more mini-series or just basically movies cut into pieces. That's really what I meant.
Yeah.
I don't like that trend at all.
Yeah. In some ways, I kind of feel like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic was like one of the last shows that kind of had like a steady balance of like, some story arc, but also like enough episodes where it's just characters doing their own things or having slice of life moments. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind the occasional feet butter or so, but it's just when the whole show is like that, it's like exhausting. But yeah, My Little Ponies is great in that regard. Yeah. No problem.
Surprised hearing from you, since like me and Sal are like the only bronies in this stream.
Well, I like the show, but just not enough that I like religiously follow it. But when I watch it, I have a good time. It's a good show.
Don't religiously follow it. Are you saying that we're hacky stereotypes, Roger?
No. I'm just saying I'm busy and I have way too much stuff I need to keep track of.
That was a bit quick.
That reminds me, Melty, I didn't see you at the Church of Derpy meeting last Sunday.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know. I had a stubbed toe or something. I don't know.
No,
That's not an excuse.
No excuse. How dare you?
I have glaucoma. That's right.
Glaucoma.
Yeah, and the thing I'm already planning to go into a MLP convention that's in July, which I already have the vacation time for. So just got to get my tickets in before they start raising the prices soon.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I guess that's kind of one upside with. Besides me bitching about how busy I'm gonna be with work, but it's like, hey, you know, I'm still getting paid for this, so you know, extra money means extra stuff to save for TrotCon.
That's true.
Yay. Yeah.
So, is our conversation dead now?
Unless Ewan has something to say.
Does he ever?
Oh, poor guy's sleeping on the.
He's sleeping on the job. How dare you?
Yeah. Oh, come on, you! This is your big moment to shine. You know, outstage Luke's Britishness or whatever. I don't know why I keep bringing that up.
Haven't you bought any new Transformers or anything?
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, you know, like.
More like it.
What? Yeah, like you haven't bought the new Sonic and Tails Transformers? If they've been released, I don't know.
I haven't found them yet, at least over in any of the stores I went to yesterday in London.
Ah.
That's a shame.
Can't find them. There's only soup.
There's only soup.
What do you mean that's more soup?
It's just more soup!
What are you doing in the soup aisle? Fuck you!
Why are you buying Sonic's figures at the store? Fuck you!
It's been a while since I bought any Sonic figures, and well, to make you happy, yeah, I still have yet to. We still haven't. Well, I haven't found any Neo Metal Sonics anywhere popping up in my area.
And I still need to find a suitable box to put your figure in that I know will survive and not end up getting.
Yeah, that would survive.
pummeled to
But like,
bits.
but even then, I was starting to worry like, oh, yeah, you know, the fucking tariffs happening. Is like, is that gonna cause any more complications over there? Or...
Probably will.
Maybe. But yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm just keep telling myself, you know, like, you know, a friend put in the effort and, you know, it's better to receive a gift like that than trying to hunt one for eBay, because I know when I checked on Amazon one time, they really jacked up the prices on Neo Metal Sonic figures.
Oh, that sucks.
So at least on the bright side, you could potentially getting one for free until you find a figure that I want that's only available over there, and then you give it to me as a gift, and then we are both even.
Yeah, like, I'm surprised, I haven't heard any updates about any certain figures that aren't available in UK, because so far it was just that Jet figure. I find that really strange.
I mean, I was gonna grumble, like, I'm gonna miss out on that, where, like, the Sonic Forms free pack, because, you know, it seems to be only, like, a Target exclusive. There's nothing mentioning it's coming to the UK, and even on eBay, like, people have just popped it up and, like, jacked the price up. It's like, you really want this Werehog figure? Well, you gotta pay up. But thankfully, Smiths are actually releasing the Werehog figure separately, so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did see that. I already went and bought the figure pack, mostly because, well, the Soap Shoe Sonic is getting his own standalone, and I imagine the Werehog would get one too, but it's like, I'll buy one anyway, despite the copy of Sonic, you know. despite the copy of Super Sonic, because I already had one. But I'm like, you know, kill two birds with one stone, that kind of deal.
I was about to say, what's a spoon?
Kill two birds with one spoon.
One spoon.
Or better yet, make it a spork. Like, oh yeah, speaking of the Werehog Sonic figure.
No.
Yeah, Shala, have you managed to get the Jack specific one?
I don't believe I have. No.
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Yes, because he's like your most favoritist like character ever. Or at least that's what
Yeah,
he formed, and yet you still haven't got the figure.
He's your big himbo or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
Himbo?
I can't. I know there's waifu, but I can't mail it to that.
Oh,
yeah.
husbando.
Oh, yeah, husbando. That's it. Yeah, Werehog Sonic's your husbando.
So, I feel like I should clear something up about my love for the Werehog. It's not so much that I'm like huge into the Werehog itself, but more of the fact that, like, you know, it represents Sonic Unleashed. Like, the Werehog is cool and all, but I definitely prefer playing as Sonic in that game. But, like, you can't just be like, hey, look, here's Sonic, specifically from Sonic Unleashed. It's like, whoa! No, so whenever the Werehog's there, it's like, hey, Sonic Unleashed representation, let's go.
Well, they can have a Sonic Unleashed specific Sonic. They just have to give him the face expression in the intro scene where he's screaming like that.
Oh no.
Oh, with him being electrocuted, yeah.
There you go. There's your Unleashed specific Sonic.
Yeah.
All the memes that came from that face.
Yeah, which,
Including
funny
one
enough,
from-
that was from... Yeah, which, strangely enough, that was from, like, an original version of the cutscene, and not, like, the actual final cutscene.
Yeah, that wasn't from the final version of the cutscene.
Yeah. Yeah, the original version where you could see Sonic's skeleton, but I guess Sega found that too graphic. Yeah.
Boo.
But I'm just wondering if the animator was just having a lot of fun of just like over-exaggerating like Sonic's like pained expression of like and the director said like, no, you got to tone it down. Sega's complaining.
Speaking of which, there's those new rumors going around that the Sonic team is experimenting with more stretch and squash in animation software.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that test footage that popped up, yeah.
So that's kind of interesting because indeed how boring and stiff the characters looked in the cutscene. It was one of my beefs with the modern games. Although I don't blame it on the animation, more just the boring staging of it. But it's at least nice that they're doing something about it.
Yeah, but you should take those things with a pinch of salt. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it looks cool, but are they actually gonna use it? It's great if they are, but it's still like a test thing. It's not like anything official. So be careful. Be careful.
They're not new cutscenes; it's just adaptations of old ones. But
Yeah.
Oh,
the
just
point
like
is,
Roger the
they're
Video
thinking
Game
about it. They're thinking, but they know there's a problem and they're doing something about it. So just on that level, hooray!
I mean, they screwed us over with Sonic Forces.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they like the awesome cutscene with the robots attacking, explosions, blah blah, and that never happened again.
Only
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I'm like, take it with a pinch of salt.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just
Funny
glad it's
enough, I
yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, when me and Sala were working on the co-op episode for Archie Sonic's Tikal and Chaos, I actually wrote down a pitch for like an idea for a joke where it was the whole deal of like, oh yeah, with like Chaos and Tikal showing up in other Sonic media, like sure they show up in cameos here and there, but in terms of having active roles in the story again, no dice. And then Sala says,
Well, I mean, there was that time in Sonic Forces where...
we don't talk about that. And, yeah, there it is. That's a joke. Yeah.
I mean, that was in the most recent revision of the script, so, I mean, we're still doing that joke, I think.
Yeah, I still plan on doing that joke, and yeah. It's
Okay,
still...
yeah.
That's a shame
Yeah,
because Chaos Zero's role in Sonic Forces was so dramatic and exciting and deep.
You cut off for a second, Roger.
Well, that's a shame because Chaos Zero's appearance in Forces was very exciting. We loved it very much.
Yeah, it was so relevant to the plot.
You get so many cool things to do.
It's especially annoying. I think I've mentioned this before. So in like the levels where Infinite is like fucking with everything, and there's like those giant like Infinites with the really long bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their bodies are watery, and if you like mod the game to mess with the camera, if you take the camera inside them, they actually have a clear water texture inside of them.
That's
So
really cool.
clearly those were originally supposed to be Chaos, but they just slapped Infinite's mask on them and made them black.
Yeah. I'm not
So-
Chaos. I'm Chaos wearing a silly mask.
Exactly. So Chaos got robbed of any relevance he had in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relegated to one cutscene.
Oh.
Well, too, he is also in the opening beating up Sonic, I guess.
Well, yeah. But he wasn't really important in that one. He was only important in one cutscene.
That's true.
Which is the worst cutscene, Deep Flaming Hatred, and it's all because of that whole retcon they tried to establish with classic Sonic. Yeah.
And Tails being super heroic.
I mean,
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
yeah.
Tails was really done dirty in that game.
Everyone was done dirty in that game.
And of course, Roger tried to make the most of it.
Oh yeah, poor being done dirty. Like Chaos getting shafted and Shadow being written terribly and Silver being a victim of poor translation errors and all that.
But the worst crime remains is the wasted potential.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Roger wanted to see more Robotnik taking over everything with propaganda and merchandise.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But
You could have a
nothing.
lot of jokes with it. Yeah.
Yay.
Do nothing.
Yeah.
Oh
I
well.
think that's something Roger still complains about when someone brings it up. He just stands out on the balcony late at night, everyone's sleeping, and then he just yells at the top of his voice, "Why did you ruin this, Sega?" And then they all just shouting at him to go to bed. He's like, "No, I must complain it to the world." And the only time I can do is when everyone's asleep, because that's the only time that anyone can ever hear me. Curse
Yeah.
you, Sega.
Man, oh jeez, yeah. Now I'm just reminded of Sonic Forces rewrite project I had in mind, and it's kind of just been shelved or just stuck in limbo. Where I had the challenge and the idea of like, okay, try and rewrite the story of the game, and let's do one with classic Sonic but have a purpose, and one without classic Sonic. And yeah, I think it's kind of obvious the non-classic Sonic one was the version that I got the most involved with, because I pretty much removed Infinite to give Robotnik more of the spotlight. It's like, okay, he has control of the Phantom Ruby, and he uses it to do stuff, and to create like multiple armies rather than build it on its own. And one interesting idea I had in mind was null space, where I described it as like the only level in the entire game that would reuse past levels, but everything's just like mashed together. Like it's just like a landfill of like continents that Robotnik has already taken over and just dumped into null space, being this prison. So it like starts off like, oh yeah, Green Hills, but then once you get to the broken like loop there, then it switches to like Flying Battery Zone, where the whole place is like covered in like loose wires and the place is electrifying. And then it comes to like City Escape, where you're like running down as usual, but then suddenly a skyscraper falls in front of it. So okay, you gotta go to a different path, and then you go to this other level. And then eventually you fight a boss, which is just this weird chimera combination of like Robotnik's past tech. But yeah, that was just me just really going all out with the null space idea.
Yeah, sounds cool. Not sure if Robotnik would throw away his old flying battery machines, but sure.
Unless you've got better batteries.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I guess the thought process I had in mind was that he invested with his, current stuff and not like the older tech. And I think that was way before like IDW had like this panel where Robotnik did have an archive of his older robots. But yeah.
Alright, yeah, sounds fun. Could have been interesting indeed.
Yeah. And then with the then with the classic Sonic one, the one I remember really going for is like, okay, you know, classic Sonic shows up, but it was more of a case of accidentally being pulled out of his zone, and you know, he's mute, and we find out that, oh, this Sonic is from a universe where Robotnik won, and the result of that just left this Sonic very traumatized and, you know, weak and cowardly, you know. And then throughout the course of the game, he regains his confidence, you know, to help him out, and then at the end, he returns to his zone and yada yada. And then we get the one scene where Classic Sonic has one line of dialogue where he like looks over this horizon in his zone and he utters the line, "One day you're going down, Robotnik." And as a plot twist, it turns out this was actually Sad AM Sonic, and this whole experience was like an origin that led him to, you know, start the Freedom Fighters, because he was pulled out of his timeline right when Robotnik took over.
Oh my goodness.
I think that's a bit too wishful thinking right there, last bit, but yeah, sure.
Well, you know, it's fanfic, so, you know,
Yeah.
I can go crazy with this stuff.
That indeed.
So where's the part with the blackjack and the hookers?
Yeah, in fact, forget the blackjack. We'll just have hookers. Yeah.
That's
No,
just
wait,
the final
no.
Dr. Robotnik Castle level.
No, Hooters. Hooters.
Oh, yeah.
Hooters. Blackjack and Hooters.
Oh, yeah, no, Hooters tired.
Hooter.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some ideas of different. It's like, I know one version I had, like, you know, like, the non-classic Sonic version would also focus more on the Avatar, like, you know, actually building up the army and recruiting Sonic's friends. And, you know, when he goes to Tails, like, we do see Tails who actually has lost it. You know, he's carrying around this crudely drawn image of Sonic, like, oh, yeah, this is Sonic, he'll help us, blah, blah, blah. And then when you rescue him and take him back to the Resistance, then he regains his sanity. And thanks to that, you also unlock the shop, which is used to, like, upgrade wisp bombs. So, you know, upgrade your weapons to get new abilities and whatnot. But, you know, that's just more of me, like, trying to make more use of, like, the Resistance area to be more like the main hub zone, going out to different levels.
Indeed. But it sounds like effort and work, so Sonic Team already run away, screaming out of the room, so...
Yeah, because Sega's cheap with that, yeah.
Indeed they are. Oh well, at least the new racing games look a little more generous, so
Yeah.
we're going in the right direction.
You know what, that could be
I suppose.
like an interesting idea for like a future stream. You know how we're always bitching about Sonic Forces. So like, okay, how about instead we do like a stream where we talk about how we would fix, you know, Sonic Forces in story or gameplay aspects or yada yada.
I don't know, I don't like that sort of thing. Although I kind of did with my animations, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I mean you already got the story. It's just more gameplay.
I guess so.
Yeah, be like in Roger's case, it would be like Roger fight, like he did with the episode.
Bit of parody stuff, yeah.
That's more his thing, I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I'm usually not really like that. I mean, it's fun to kind of talk about what they could have improved on, but not fully write the story. But yeah, I mean, we could do it for Chill Scream, I guess. But,
My main complaint, I believe I've mentioned this before, is the tying your avatar's ability to its species seemed really dumb because it restricts character freedom in the creation process. It's just like, well, I want to be a bear, but the double jump ability is so cool, so I have to be a bird. And I didn't like that, so if that would be the main thing, is just like have the character's species and its ability completely separate.
Yeah.
There's
so,
no
like,
reason those have to be tied together.
Yeah, so like the species is just more cosmetic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because that's like the Sonic OC is like one of the most famous things on the internet of any fandom. It's so weird that they limit you to like seven different species.
Yeah.
And even then, each one has a unique ability.
I'm still surprised they didn't use them after that game. I mean, wouldn't they make perfect sense for Team Sonic Racing as a bonus racer? I mean, you
Yeah.
Well, I guess they technically still use. you know, just random background characters.
Yeah, that's true. But not like the avatar, your avatar.
Yeah.
But indeed, they are in the in the audience now, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait, then again, wasn't the Avatar characters also in Sonic Rumble? But then again, no one can play Sonic Rumble.
True.
I don't know. So.
Yeah, because like the rest of the world is still waiting for the game to get released, but they're still like, oh no, we still need time to get this, you know, all properly sorted, and then suddenly they just put up like a ad saying, hey guys, guess what? More outfits. Like, it's just
yeah,
like...
that was. Man, that was like one of the most jarring things about that game, because I remember like I googled up like Sonic Rumble, and then there's like a countdown, because like that happens when a game is getting close to release. Like, oh sweet, the game's coming out, and then at the last minute they drop that whole, oh sorry, we're delaying the game again because I don't know, the pixel in 2.5 didn't look right, so we gotta adjust that specific pixel.
And it's gonna take months to do.
Yeah, and they're still working on it to this day. That damn.
And it's so weird because they're like, oh, we can't release the game globally because it's not quite ready yet. It's like, so what is? Do the people who can play it not count?
Yeah, like what the fuck is up with that? Because I've
They're
heard
just guinea pigs.
But yeah, that's still strange because I've seen plenty of people say like, yeah, the gameplay, I know big major issues and whatnot, you know.
I think what they do is they're collecting data how people are playing, so they can design the way how they can monetize it way better. It's like, okay, these characters are overpowered, or this is the game style people are going for. So then they can like balance it better, so that people have to pay more money to win at the game. Probably. That's my guess.
I imagine if the game is like taking the genre seriously, then the characters are just cosmetic, and they don't have any stat differences.
Yeah. I imagine it's gonna be purely cosmetic, and it's all gonna be monetized and transaction shit and that, because that's the future of modern gaming.
Yep.
That's the best gag you've ever made, Melty.
Definitely sounded like you just died there. Like, oh.
Yeah, I'm just really, my enthusiasm for modern gaming is really dwindled with, you know, companies really pushing for live service games and all that. It's kind of left me a bit bitter. Yeah. At least there's indie gaming.
But hey, at least Cream is getting a lot more screen time, so good news for you. Sorry, you.
Oh yeah, that's true. I saw like a post that was apparently from the official Sonic Twitter accounts. It's like, oh, here's a photo of the most played characters we've seen in like the demos, and it had like Sonic and Shadow, surprisingly Cream in there. Like, oh, nice, nice to get her some love after she was neglected for a couple of years.
Ewan, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, just recalling that one moment, like a while ago when Salah was showing off, like the alternate sort of costumes that you could give your, like, Sonic characters and such, and I noticed that how Tails was dressed up almost like his light Mobius form, and Salah was like, oh shit, Melty! Bring the Melty Man!
Yeah, you guys were going crazy over it while I was busy at work dealing with some recordings.
Yeah.
And I later answered, it's like, oh yeah, I guess.
Well,
I guess.
I mean, I was just more like, oh look, it's like Tails just dressed up like a lot from how he looked in Light Mobius, and then it was Salah who was mostly like, Melty, get on here and look at me.
Yeah. Expect me to have this like big reaction thing, and it's just
It's just Sonic RC. Who gives a damn about it?
Yeah.
Look, I'm old. I've dealt with 2 fucking decades of being treated like trash for being an Archie Sonic fan.
Yeah.
And now you treat it as a hero,
well,
and you ignore it.
reference, but it's just like, like,
Yeah.
shows how much you're caring at this point.
Yeah, I guess I was also left a bit bitter because, like, in Sonic Speed Simulator, they had like a ninja outfit for SBO, and they featured the, I think it was, oh yeah, the Shinobi Clan symbol, which is, yeah, and Archie Sonic SBO actually is part of Ninja Clan. So like, oh, sweet, it's the actual reference. And then they brought it over to like Sonic Dash and the Sonic Forces Speed Battle, and they went and removed the reference. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck you, Sega.
Yeah.
Screw you for
I mean,
basically denying people of references.
Yeah. And that's why, yeah, because Sega hates their past.
Specific
I
part.
I have a suspicion that Hardlight actually made the model, which means rather than Sonic Forces Speed Battle removing it, I think Sonic Speed Simulator added it.
Oh, really? So I thought it was the other way around, with Speed
Well-
Speed Simulator coming first.
It did come first, but the Speed Simulators are like notoriously overworked and don't have a lot of time. So I feel like, and because like Sonic Forces Speed Battle has to like balance characters, they have to actually consider like their abilities and stuff. It takes more work to put a character into Speed Battle than it does into Speed Simulator. So I feel like that's an instance where Sega Hardlight made the model and they gave it Speed Simulator, and Speed Simulator was like, oh, we could, his headband looks a little empty. Let's put in that one little logo thing. This is speculation on my part. I cannot say for certain whether or not this is true. This just feels true to me. But regardless, it's neat to see like this Tails costume in whatever that game was called.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Sonic game no one can play. Yeah.
No. What is that game?
Oh, Sonic Blitz. I
It's-
think that's what it was.
No, I'm not
Oh.
talking about Sonic Blitz. The one that Sonic is a guest character in now from Supercell, Clash Royale or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that game? Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, I can't
But with the Tails costume, where he looks like Mobius 30 years later.
Okay, yeah. Because I was about to say, like, my kind of head, or at least my speculation with the Ninja Espio thing, is like, okay, maybe it was designed first by Sega themselves, and then it was brought over to Hardlight. But in terms of releasing stuff, damn, I can't word. Okay, so Sega created the model first, then the team on Speed Simulator also got, and then when they saw like, oh, the headband was empty, and I guess they said like, oh, yo, Sega, we don't want label on there, blah blah blah. At least in our game, and then Speed Simulator decided to throw in the Shinobi Archie Sonic reference in there, just to have a nice middle finger to Sega.
It's what
But
you
that's
would have
just
done.
me and my cynical view.
Yep. Oh wow.
Yeah, I feel like if I had somehow that Sega, I would just try and hide in some like hidden, just like some like, oh, bring freedom fighters forever, or oh, fuck you Sega, or some kind of bitterness. But nah. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Kids game with a big giant fuck you Sega in it.
Yeah, and I'll have it written down in the language of those one alien creatures from Commander Keen, so that way they'll never know.
That's
The
clever.
Minecraft enchanting table language?
yeah, that too.
No, that's literally the same thing.
Oh, it is. I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I thought-
yeah. The
I thought Commander Keen
Minecraft
had its
enchanting
own
table.
language.
Minecraft enchanting table alphabet is the intergalactic alphabet from Commander Keen.
That's a cool detail. Then again, John Carmack and John Romero were fans of D&D, I suppose.
Yeah, it's surprising they did that with Minecraft, and yet they never did like an official Commander Keen Minecraft skin pack or something. I guess it was because of rights issues.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, with id Software or whoever owns Commander Keen now.
That's a good question. I have no idea. Ewan has it. I heard about his evil laugh. Ewan, what are you doing with Commander Keen out there, you bastard?
He has him hostage. Oh no.
In this basement, letting Doom guy shoot him.
But yeah, in terms of like weird properties being owned by companies you would not expect, yeah, for me it was definitely when I found out that Gex now is being owned by Square Enix for some reason.
Yeah, because they own Dynamics. Because
Yeah, I think that was yeah.
the
I know a
makers
friend
of
mine-
Gex moved on to Tomb Raider, and Square Enix bought Tomb Raider, and I guess Gex came with came for free.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that was something a friend of mine said. Like, the reason why Square Enix bought it is because there was some kind of liquidation on franchises, and I guess Square just felt like doing that. And yeah, it's kind of weird. I know I joked about, like, oh yeah, well, they own Gex, so oh boy, I can't wait to see him as a summon in Kingdom Hearts 3! But sadly, that never happened. Still, that would have been hilarious, you know, just Gex and he's all like, it's tail time! You know, just flinging his remote around and everything.
That'd be something.
Yeah. I mean, sure, like, Gex is like a maybe tiny gecko in comparison to Sora, but I mean, like, you know, he was in Toy Story, so maybe similar size in that, I guess.
I guess Kingdom Hearts can do whatever it wants at this point, at least as long as
Yeah.
Disney allows them to.
Yeah.
I think it was Luke pointed out recently that because Disney owned Miramax at the time, Pulp Fiction is technically a Disney movie. And someone like posted a screenshot of Sora in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I also saw, this is a very recent video, that it shows like the gameplay style of like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, like the Game Boy Advance version, and it shows him like interacting with Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
Oh, boy.
And it's like, the one thing that's surprising is like the art style just looks really convincing, like, yeah, it does look like something that came out of Chain of Memories.
Oh, that's cool. Some great artists out there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like Peter just like offers Sora a beer, and then it like turns into a card. It's like, oh yeah, you got the beer card, whatever.
Giving beer to underage boys. Tut tut tut. That Sora's a murderer, that's fine, but him drinking
Yeah.
beer, that's one
Yeah,
step too
and
far.
Peter's just like, well, yeah, hey boy, you want a beer? It's like, well, you're owned by. Okay.
Good stuff. Yeah, I wonder if we'll ever hear about the new Kingdom Hearts. I still have to finish my Kingdom Hearts 3 parody.
Oh yeah. It's kind of funny, like, there was that whole, like, Kingdom Hearts mobile game, Missing Links or whatever, and then radio silence for years, and then suddenly Square Enix like, oh yeah, remember that game? Yeah, it's canceled now. So here's more screenshots for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Ouch. Good times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after what happened with Kingdom Hearts Key, or Back Cover Key, or whatever the hell, with that mobile game with too many names to count, yeah, I'm pretty sure people didn't want to go through that again.
Nope. Indeed. Well, I think we're running out of steam. Shall we call it a night or an afternoon for some of you Americans?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch some anime.
and I'm gonna get ready for work.
Ooh, that's not
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
fair enough.
That we definitely need to hurry up.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, weekends aren't too busy. We don't have that many shows at work. But yeah. And it's just gonna be a very long upcoming week for me, which I've already bitched about a couple of times today.
Indeed.
Gotta
yeah.
try and stay positive. I've really gotta start interacting with people more, like, at least socially in real life, because I don't want to be isolated, because I'm already finding the hardships of dealing with that.
Yeah, it would be nice if there's more social locations in your hometown. Yeah, libraries or
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah, gotta start interacting with people more.
Can't help you with that, sadly. Anyways, anyone wants to plug anything?
Well, I'm not sure about plugging, but I've just uploaded a few pictures onto the art gallery.
Oh, that I need to show on the stream right now, you mean?
Well, you can if you want to. It's basically just a few Badnik drawings I'm doing for someone's Badnik collab.
It's in the art gallery or the art.
Yeah, the art
section.
gallery.
Alrighty. Well, I mean, you can't say it on stream and then not have me show it, so now I have to. Right, so Melty, you were working hard on Forgotten Media.
No, I'm currently just working on the Archie Sonic character file.
Oh, right, that's what I meant. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that I mentioned
Yeah.
before.
And
Yeah,
Sylvia
right
was,
now, Forgotten Media's kind of taking a break right now. Yeah.
and Sylvia was about to say something. You want to plug your stream?
Yeah, seeing as we're shamelessly plugging stuff, I'm still live. Well, not literally right now, but just I'm sharing my channel in the. Sorry, I'm just tired. It has been a tiring week. But yeah, I stream on a lot of days throughout the weeks. I'll be playing Cult of the Lamb. I'll be playing Minami, Lane, all sorts of games and such and whatnot. And who knows what else I'll be playing. So just give a little follow so you won't miss out on any live streams. Sorry. And yeah, I'll be live tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Eastern Summertime. If anyone is curious about watching me play a game.
And yeah, likewise, I will be live on my channel tomorrow for Satisfactory at 1 p.m. Pacific time, as I usually am.
Let me just put the link in the chat so people can have a look as well. There we go.
And be sure to tune in on Friday for Lego Booster Gold, where I voice Skeets the robot.
It's coming soon. All right.
Hooray!
It's finally coming out.
Oh,
Recorded that over a year ago.
It's not easy animating.
84 years.
Yep, and now we get to have more proof of Sala and Roger Craig Smith having something in common. Yuck, yuck.
Oh God.
But yeah, thank you for having me.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah,
Being
it's
here.
good. Yeah, it's good having you.
And,
All right, we will see you all in 2 weeks for our regularly scheduled Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog
Indeed.
Yay.
and Sonic X Comics.
Hopefully with
Yep,
Luke and
and-
Elise back. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully Elise will come back, yeah.
Yeah, I will wish you all a good night. Obviously,
Good morning.
A good day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Sadly, it got off, so your signature goodbye
Yeah.
is not here.
Then I'll have to do it again. No.
More extra
And
practice.
we wish you all a good night, a good morning, a good afternoon, and obviously a good day. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Wait. Bye-bye. And such.
And goodbye, as you say, yeah.
Roger's farting away. Obviously. There we go.
The climax.
But yeah, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
And as Luke would say, video.